out there for Pittsburgh right now today. I don't see it, right? Matt Ryans and Deshaun Watsons, those are dreams. You're not getting Aaron Rodgers.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mehenti. The next step, Roethlisberger and the team need to work out his contract situation and that $41 million cap hit for 2021. NHL, after 6 losses in 8 games, the Canadiens fired coach Claude Julien. Assistant Dominic Ducharme named interim coach. Julien, one of the highest paid coaches in the league, $5 million a year. Reigning AL MVP, White Sox star first baseman Jose Abreu tested positive for COVID-19. He'll be away for the team for the next several days. He is asymptomatic.
Coming up Thursday, it's the NBA's best team and the NBA's best player. We'll react to what a massive statement game for LeBron James in his 5th MVP quest. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Well, a day later, we know a little bit more about Tiger Woods, and the good news, he's okay. The bad news, it's going to be a long road to recovery for Tiger, and the lower legs is what it sounds like. A lot of damage done. And the question today we'll ask is, does that mean golf is done? I mean, what's your feeling? Got to remember now, people have kind of said Tiger's golf career is done a couple of times now in his in the last decade, and that wasn't the case. So what does it mean for Tiger Woods going forward? And really, when I talk about Tiger Woods a lot, and I'm included in this now, but I know I'm not alone, I think we view Tiger Woods' golf game in a selfish way. We just don't want to let go of Tiger Woods, you know? And we've had athletes like that in the past, like Michael Jordan. Please don't go away. Please don't get old. Mm-hmm. Right? LeBron James, please don't go downhill. Heck, Tom Brady, I think we kind of want him to go away at times, and he just won't stop.
For sure.
You know? Yeah. But Tiger Woods fits in the category of athletes that you just don't want him to stop playing at such an elite level that's so fun to watch. Bottom line is it's going to happen anyway, Father Time or not. This might speed up the process even more, or he could come back. And I think this is all about desire. I have no idea. I mean, the guy's played with like a fused spine. I think that's the correct terminology. And it's almost like a miracle he's played to this level. So he's already done that. I would think if he can rehabilitate after what we've seen like Alex Smith do and other people do, I don't know how this is going to affect his actual golf swing, but I think it's just about desire. You know, and do you really want to work that hard to get back to the game of golf? And, I mean, this is a guy that thinks differently, and he might think he's got something else to prove, and it might just be self-satisfying. I think that's the case a lot of times. You know, I really feel that was the case with Alex Smith. Nobody said, hey, Alex, we need you to see you on the field. Like, I don't think he ever felt that pressure from the outside world. I think he kind of internalized that. He's like, one of my goals is to get back on that field and play again. I think everybody else kind of held their breath. You know, to say, oh, my gosh, he's going to go out there and try to play football again. So how much do you think this will be external? How much do you think could be internal of saying, I'm going to come back and try to play in a Tiger situation?
I mean, I echoed this a little bit yesterday. And with all due respect to Def Leppard, when they said it's better to burn out than fade away, I disagree sometimes when it comes to professional athletes. I think that when you've earned your stripes in a sport, when you're considered one of the greatest of all time, or the GOAT, if you will, you've earned that right to walk away on your own terms. So you can call it selfishness for my part, or you can just, me saying it's how sports should be. In Tiger Woods' circumstance, I want to see him come back. And it's not going to be easy, obviously. You know, I mean, anytime you have surgery, it's never easy, especially with his age right now and the shape that he's in. I mean, he's in great shape, but let's be honest, he's not in his prime like he used to be. But with that being said, I don't want to see this whole thing end over a car accident, right? Like, it's one thing if you cheer on your favorite fighter, your favorite boxer, and they keep getting knocked out. It's like, man, it might be time to walk away because you might be doing yourself more damage than walking in that ring every single time than not. Well, a couple years ago, I watched Tiger Woods get a green jacket. So that leads me to believe that he still has some left in the tank. And like I said, I want to see him go on his own terms. I want to see him say, you know what? It's time for me to walk away. I don't want it taken away from him from a car accident.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of I would say Alex Smith has that too, right? Don't you think that's probably some of the motivation? I don't know if I've heard that exact quote, but something similar to be like, hey, I'm going to go out on my own terms.
Yeah.
This isn't the way I want to go out. And I wonder how much that drives people. And, boy, there's got to be something driving you to come back the way Alex Smith did. There's going to be something that drives you to, in my opinion, even without injury, do what a guy like Tom Brady does. Like, why keep doing it? Why keep pursuing it? I've asked that question many a times where it's like the normal person just doesn't think that way. There's a satisfaction level with what you've accomplished at some point. Mm-hmm. And for Tom Brady, that doesn't exist. Now, once you face some adversity like this, how much does that drive you to get back? And by the way, Tiger Woods has to at least get back to the point where he can walk and function and all the things and play ball with his kids and all that stuff. Anyway, What I'm saying is there's a different level to get back to be a world-class player. And does he have that desire to do that will be something that only he can answer at some point. And that's certainly not a question he's going to answer right now. But it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to do it and if he can do it. With the scope of injuries, in a way, and I don't want to make light of it at all, but I mean, he is like a real life Humpty Dumpty, man. I mean, he is like, that he has had the back, he's had his legs, he's mentally, he's had stuff that a lot of athletes don't publicly go through.
Yeah.
I mean, he has had to put himself back together.
Yeah.
And here he is literally having to put himself back together again, just from a functionality standpoint. Mm-hmm. But now to almost appease us and get back to the game of golf.
But that's the greatest story as well. When you face adversity, and let's be honest, Tiger Woods is facing his fair share of adversity, some self-inflicted, some not self-inflicted. But when you do face that adversity and you overcome it, it's celebrated. It's recognized. It's one of the the greatest stories of all time. A good guy overcomes the odds and proves people wrong, and that's to me why I tuned into the Masters when Tiger was winning, because everyone said he was past his prime. He's on the back nine of his career. He can't do it anymore. Well, guess what? He did do it, and he won, and that was celebrated, and that should be celebrated.
There's some football stories I'd like to get to here today too. One of them continues to be there's another video out about Allen Robinson.
I saw that.
And I said this last week. I said there's a loyalty from the fan base to Allen Robinson that I didn't know existed that much. Like, I didn't know it was as strong as it is right now. And I told you this coming off our last interview with Allen Robinson. The more and more I thought about it, he becomes kind of one of my favorite Jaguars. It's really cool because one of the few times, at least in my career, to this level, as closely as we cover the Jags, I've seen someone kind of grow up.
Sure, yeah.
And that's not like I'm not disrespecting Allen saying he needed to grow up. I'm just saying, when you come into the league as a 21-year-old receiver or 22-year-old receiver, and now where he's at and on contract number 3, essentially, like I haven't had that experience very often that I've covered one person in that regard. And, well, here we are with Allen Robinson. But I'm a little surprised by the fan base, just how much they are endeared to Allen Robinson. And our buddy Noah created another video today.
Mm-hmm. You all right?
A little sneeze.
There
Nobody would have known
man.
if you had just picked it up.
I mean, I know it, and I felt like you could hear that in microphone too, so people were wondering what was going on.
I tried to turn it off.
Yeah, you're good.
I did turn it off.
You're
we
good,
need a
you're
cough
good.
button around here. So there's something in here, though, because since I walked in, the allergies are starting to go.
Sure.
There's something in here today. I don't know what it is.
All right.
But there's something. My nose is running. And now we got sneezes going.
Don't tell me all that, man. I got a fight coming up.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. It's just allergies or something like that.
That's what they always say.
You don't be paranoid.
Too late.
Yet.
Too late.
But anyway, so Allen Robinson, we'll talk a little bit more about him and the fan base's love affair with Allen. Yannick Ngakoue a year later. How do you view everything?
A year later, Yannick Ngakoue. Obviously he goes to Baltimore, and I feel like I mean, let's be honest. Like, I think Baltimore expected a lot more, stats to be filled, especially in terms of quarterback sacks. But I think towards down the line, he did all right. Now, you know how we felt about it. We wanted Yannick Ngakoue to stay here because we wanted the guy that was very young, that had all the promise in the world to be a leader in the locker room, the former third-round pick, and kind of show this young team the way a little bit. Well, you lose out to him. We get the Minnesota trade and everything like that. He goes to Baltimore. I think we all expect Yannick Ngakoue to flourish in Baltimore. And like I said, he did okay, but I was expecting even bigger numbers, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. I don't. What I want to talk about this is it's not like a who's won thing, but who's better off.
Yeah.
Like, did last year we talked a lot about who won with Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah.
Like, did he win? Well, he got his way. He won. He got out. He wanted out. He got out.
Mm-hmm.
But now in the rear view, and a lot of people who are critical of Jan in that spot said, you're never going to make that money back. You're never going to make that money back. And like you've said, and he said, and I think he wasn't that concerned with the dollars. He's going to get paid sometime, someday. But here we are now, and he still hasn't really got paid.
Correct.
Like, he really hasn't got paid. And so who's better off, after this long, drawn-out thing as we head into another new season in the NFL, and March is about to hit, where this thing is now going on a year and a half, if you go all the way back to the start of it for Yannick Ngakoue, and he still hasn't got that big payday. So who's better off now? Are the Jags better off not having tied up $100 million in Jan, whether we wanted that to happen or not? I mean, is Jan better off still being able to sit out there potentially with another franchise tag or with a new team and a big deal?
Yeah. Listen, you can make up excuses if you wanted to, but the way I look at it is this. If you look at Yannick Ngakoue's numbers this year, and let's be honest, he had 8 sacks, and that's respectable for sure. That's kind of consistent with where he's been. He had 8 sacks back in 2019. But if you put those numbers compared to the other guys on this team this year, those are the best numbers by far.
Yes.
On defense,
heck, the Jags almost had 8 sacks altogether.
Yeah. So it obviously begs the question, how much would he have helped this past season? Now, obviously, you said $100 million, over that time. Is it worth the risk? Well, that's up for debate, obviously. But I'm just saying the numbers that Yannick Ngakoue put up this year, those are probably the best that the Jaguars defense had.
Yeah, it would have been. Would it be for the next 5 years? We'll see. We'll find out. Again, this story doesn't have a conclusion yet. The book's still wide open on the whole deal. But as it sits right now, I was thinking of it the other day because I was reading something about franchise tag. Judon's a guy that they could franchise tag. Jan's a guy they could franchise tag. And a lot of people predict that the Baltimore Ravens won't franchise tag either guy. Mm-hmm. And so as I sit there and I'm like, okay, well, he's not going to get the 4 or 5 year deal worth 18, 19, 20 million a year, I don't think. I think he's lost a little bit of that opportunity. To do that right now. He's going to, if I was Jan, I'd go sign a 2-year deal so I could go get that next deal. And one of the things about him signing a deal early with Jacksonville, if he had, or if they were able to figure it out, I'm not putting this all on Jan, of course, but if they had, one of the great things about Jan and a deal of, say, whatever it was, maybe 4 years at the time, is he was only about 24 years old. So then he could go get that other big deal again at 28, still in his prime. Yep. Well, he's losing that window a little bit. If he signs a big deal now, he's also losing the back end to get the Calais kind of money. Or what now we're looking at A-Rob doing something like that at 28 years old. He's going to sign a third contract. Yeah. You want to be able to do that in the NFL if the opportunity presents itself. And I wonder if Jan's losing out on that just a little bit right now. So that's what got me thinking of it.
We'll get into that later. I like it.
With the franchise tag. And speaking of the franchise tag, I read this ESPN article, I think, or maybe it was Athletic. I can't remember. A prediction about all these guys, and would they, I think it was ESPN, would they end up franchise tagged? Mm-hmm. And Baltimore, they're like, nah, they probably won't do it. But a lot of people said, yeah, they will. There were a lot of teams. There were 22 options. Cam Robinson was one of the options. I think Mike DiRocco from ESPN jumped in and said that he doesn't think Cam Robinson would get tagged. I don't either. I don't feel it, but I don't know. I just don't feel that's going to happen.
Why wouldn't you, though?
Well, I don't know. I don't see a big downside to doing it. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you? Is because you're going to get Orlando Brown, or you're going to move on and you're going to go get Trent Williams, or you want to get a moderate level deal and say, all right, instead of a franchise tag and giving you this, let's lock you up for 2 years at a moderate deal and let's get more out of it. So that would be the why. I'm not opposed to the franchise tag. I think it's worth seeing more from Cam before. Like, I would not give Cam a 5-year big monster deal. Haven't seen enough. I don't think he's earned that. So if that's what he wants and you can't come to an agreement on that, well, you have until like March 9th to figure it out. And then I would maybe use the franchise tag on Cam, and it makes sense.
No, without a doubt, because like you just said, there's really 3 options the way the left tackle can play out this year. You're either going to get Orlando Brown, you're getting Trent Williams, or you're going to keep Cam Robinson. And I feel like if you're going to keep Cam Robinson, you're intrigued by last year a little bit. He made improvements. Obviously, the leg was bothering him 2 years ago. But if you keep Cam Robinson, why not lease him? Why not, kind of put the pressure on him and say, okay, man, we're going to franchise tag you. If you truly think that you're, one of the better left tackles in the NFL, prove it, and let's see what you got.
Yeah, and again, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just don't feel like there's a lot of smoke that that's going to happen. But let's be brutally honest. We have no idea because we don't know what the heck Urban Meyer and this new regime's thinking.
Yeah.
We really don't. And so, heck, I mean, they're still trying to turn that building upside down.
Sure.
I mean, every day it's another announcement coming out of that building. So the franchise tag's interesting. But if you go back to, like, Chris Godwin and you read Tampa, they think they're going to tag him. Allen Robinson, Chicago. The Chicago folks thought they were going to tag him. Just go up and down the list of potential people that the Jags could get. And a lot of folks were tag. It could really limit the pool of potential free agents. Now, keep in mind, no matter how big the pool is for potential free agents for the Jaguars, they still sit in a driver's seat. They've got a ton of money in a year where the cap is going down, and so your pool of candidates already shrinks for free agents. The Jags can be big spenders, and I don't even know if this year they have to be as much big spenders. They might have to be more committed spenders. And what I mean by that is there's certainly a belief around the league that there are going to be a bunch of 1 or 2 year deals under this cap space until it grows back up. Well, if that is the case, the Jags could be more of a committed spender, which means you could be a 3 or 4 year deal and one of the few teams to be willing to do that 3, 4, 5 year deal with a little bit more of a longer view, considering they're just building stuff once again here in Jacksonville. So there's a couple of advantages the way this shakes out for the Jags, because if you're a player, you obviously want the 3, 4, 5 year deal rather than the 1, 2 year deal, right?
Well, no, for sure. I mean, obviously longevity is the most important thing. But if that's 1A, 1B is going to be the signing bonus.
Yeah. True.
Like, if you're going to offer the 1 to 2 year deal, you got to make sure the money up front is also juicy as well. I mean, that's what's so intriguing about the 5 year, the 6 year commitments is the fact that there's such a signing bonus. So you get all that money up front no matter how many games you play the rest of your career. Because let's be honest, nothing's guaranteed in the NFL. You're one injury away from losing a lot of money. So that's why the long-term deal is important, but that's also why the money up front and the signing bonus is important as well.
Yeah, we're back live on Twitter, by the way. If you usually jump in on the show, got a little late jump on there. I think things were getting stuck. Were we almost suspended on Twitter or something? Did Koo say something? Did Austin say something?
I don't think I
just
said
wouldn't
anything.
go through. We don't usually have issues like this.
It was telling me that you disconnected your Periscope account, so I had to log in.
Brent's getting hacked.
I had to log into your Twitter to reconnect the Periscope
Really?
and then resend it.
Dude, you're getting hacked. You're going to be selling PS3s in no time, or PS4s or whatever. PS5. What number are we on now? Number 5? PS5.
PS5 is like
What's
Mojo.
up, Maurice Jones-Drew? Hey, Maurice Jones-Drew, can you be up with that PS5, man? What's up?
I texted Mojo. Well, I saw all that going on, right? And I figured by then he had already known that he was getting hacked.
Yeah.
And so Jason Fitz, who comes on the show a bunch, texted me. He's like, hey, Mojo is like giving away PS5s left and right. He's been hacked.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so I texted Mojo. I was like, hey, I got to believe you know this by now because I've seen it for like a day.
Correct.
And you're getting hacked. He's like, yeah, I got hacked. I was like, well, can I have a PS5 though?
What did he say?
He just laughed.
Hey, before we go to breaking Coos, can we get to the breaking story of the day, actually? Can you bring up the NBA All-Star rosters? Because they just finally selected their reserves.
I would like to point out that I was told by a few people that like to listen to this show that no one cares about basketball.
Oh, no, that's all good, because you know why? Because I work on this show, and I say I care about basketball. Can you bring up the reserves real quick of just who got voted in, who's not voted in? Let's just check that out real quick, Coos. Can you bring that up real quick?
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up.
I mean, obviously, like at least what I know about the NBA, it's kind of a big honor when you get, it's kind of like a popularity contest, you would say.
Yeah.
In a way,
That's
when
a
you
fan
make the
vote, yeah.
All-Star team. Yeah,
Popularity contest
Fan
/
vote.
big honor. I'm not really sure it's the same thing. But
I mean, I think you make a Pro Bowl. That's an honor, obviously. We were pushing for James Robinson to make the Pro Bowl. That was a cool thing.
we got TJ McConnell.
Who do we got for the rosters here?
Okay, in the East,
Okay.
you have James Harden,
Yeah.
Julius Randle.
He's a sub.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
Okay.
Jaylen Brown.
Sure.
Zach LaVine, first time for Zach.
Congratulations, Zach
Ben
LaVine.
Simmons, third time for Ben Simmons.
Congrats, Ben.
He's only been in the league for 3 years.
76ers.
He's been in, yep.
Without
Flex.
hitting a three-pointer, which is pretty amazing.
Nikola
It's
Vucevic.
insane. Yep.
Congratulations to the Orlando Magic.
Little Florida flavor
Is
there.
this like the old MLB All-Star game where you have to have somebody from each team?
No, Vooch is good. There's
I know
talk that
he's a
he's
good player.
actually, at the end of it all, going to be the best player in their history in terms of like numbers.
So when are they trading him?
Not,
I don't think
And you're not
well,
gonna-
he might actually.
and you're not going to have the best shoes either. What's
All
up,
right, in
Penny?
the West, you have Chris Paul.
Oh, wait. So the East, though?
That was the East.
No Charlotte Hornets?
No.
Interesting. Okay. Please continue. No Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
None.
In the,
No
in the
LaMelo
West,
Ball?
Interesting.
in the West, you have Chris Paul,
Yeah.
Paul George,
I've heard of him.
Damian Lillard,
Of course.
Donovan Mitchell,
Let's go.
Rudy Gobert,
I've heard of him.
and Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's it.
I feel like that roster is not completed. I feel like you're missing somebody.
No, that was all of them.
No Zion?
I feel like you're missing somebody.
No.
No, because doesn't each side have 12 players?
Yeah.
That was 12.
No, he didn't say 12.
Zion's
No, I
sneaker
said
blew
11.
up.
Was Zion Williamson in the All-Star game?
I might have forgotten to say his name.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Wait a second. I could have swore. Let me check my clock. 2 days ago, I sat in here while you two were telling me how LaMelo Ball was more popular than Zion Williamson, and you can turn up the music as loud as you want. That's all good. At the end of the day, Zion Williamson, welcome to the All-Star game. You must be kind of popular. And Brent Martineau, you can have you on your cell phone right now. You can ignore me all you want. The fact is that Zion Williamson going to an All-Star game. LaMelo Ball, watch it on HD TV because you ain't going. So who's the more popular one? I rest my case.
I would say there's a
Did
lot.
that go the way? Hey, did it go the way it was supposed to go? I mean, are you guys happy with yourselves?
Did we say popular?
Yes, you did. Do you want to bring up the audio?
I say who's on Sports Center more?
You said
Zion
LaMelo
Williamson
Ball.
or LaMelo
You said
Ball?
LaMelo Ball was more popular than Zion Williamson.
not use the word popular.
I'm
Well,
gonna
we need
watch.
to go. Wait. We
Did
need
not
to go
say
and
that.
look
Better than. You want
and
to
see
say better?
how many votes he got.
I
What
said
did
he's
you
getting
say?
more attention this year. He is.
I feel like attention and popularity are kind of the same thing.
No, because popularity is voting into the All-Star game.
Kim Kardashian gets attention. You know why? Because Kim Kardashian is popular.
That is not true.
Okay. It's not?
She's not popular. She
wasn't
just
trending?
gets attention.
She wasn't trending?
That's attention, not
She wasn't
popular.
trending? Brent, you're crazy, man. Yeah, that's going to be a win in the
Would you
lame
vote-
column.
Hey, would you vote for Kim Kardashian as the homecoming queen?
No, I'll tell you what, though. I'll vote for Zion Williamson in the All-Star game because he's popular and because he's good. It's all right, though, guys. Hey,
We
maybe
never
next
said
year, LaMelo
Zion
Ball.
was bad.
So he wasn't popular.
I want a Sports Center count of how many highlights Zion has been on this year versus LaMelo Ball. That's all I ask. That's my popularity
Who
contest.
cares about the highlights? I care about the All-Star games, man.
Of course you do.
I care about the prestige.
Sure you do. Me
How many
guy.
times was Ball trending on Twitter because he's so good? Like, who cares? He's going to the All-Star game. Thanks for playing. I win.
Zion, who?
Hey.
He's probably the 12th
Hey,
guy on the
you know the
bench.
show's called ESPN 690 Austin Lane. I win.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Congrats, Zion.
Probably without
Hell of a
Austin
job,
Lane in
Zion
the next
Williamson.
segment.
Hell of a job.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunshine and mild temperatures this afternoon. Cool one tonight, though, under mostly clear skies. We'll drop into the 40s, mostly to partly sunny for tomorrow and Friday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
How do you measure the depth of your sadness? What number of arguments is too many? How do you count your sleepless nights? Don't. Count on DuPont Counseling Group at Jewish Family and Community Services instead. Our professional counselors can assist with everything from depression to relationships to children's issues. Trust DuPont Counseling Group to help you navigate life's challenges better. Jewish Family and Community Services. Here for mental health. Here for Jags. Learn more at hereforjags.com.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
I'm Rochelle Stoddard, president of Berman Brothers and Rubin Ironworks. The skills and relationships I've built through the Jacksonville Women's Business Center were essential as we succeeded in keeping all 70 of our employees on the payroll during the COVID-19 pandemic. Through the Athena PowerLink mentoring program, we had experienced professionals helping us navigate 2020. Jax Chamber and the Women's Business Center are in our corner, making us stronger in these difficult times. For more information, please visit jaxchamberfoundation.org.
Get ready for Shopability Saturday, a way to support Jacksonville businesses that employ individuals with autism, Down syndrome, and other intellectual differences. Visit connectablejax.com to see the Shopability map, then shop away on Saturday, March 6th.
Brent Martineau.
I'm not the guy that likes to, be over dramatic.
Austin Lane.
Well, you're almost in tears yesterday.
I was.
So.
Well, that was a little different.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
I saw the condition of his car, and for me, it was we just hope that he's okay. That's the biggest reaction, really. A little bit of shock. Something crazy happened to our sports world last year with Kobe. So, I wouldn't say that dramatic of feelings, but man, you just hope Tiger's all right. And we all know he's a strong cookie, physically, mentally. So if someone's going to get through this, he will, and be back for the better, I'm sure. But our thoughts and prayers, I'm sure, as a whole, all the players, I can speak on their behalf, are with Tiger.
Oh, we back? We're back.
Oh, we're back.
He just went back to Monday's show on this LaMelo Ball, Zion Williamson front.
He's more of a star already, LaMelo Ball. Quoted.
He's more of a star in the NBA, was the quote. Then I asked Kuz, I said, who's more of a star in the NBA right now, LaMelo Ball or Zion Williamson? And LaMelo Ball,
here we go,
was the answer.
Here we go.
You just answered my damn question. He ain't in the top 20. In fact, this year's number one pick is more of a star than last year's number one pick, which was Zion Williamson.
Interesting.
Very true.
Interesting.
Who's bigger star in the NBA, Devin Booker or Zion Williamson?
Oh. I mean, see, here's what you got to say, though. A bigger star this year or just career total? Right now, I think Zion Williamson's a bigger star than Devin Booker.
He is.
Yes. With all due respect to Devin Booker, but it's more of like a West Coast bias, I feel like, even though
it could be.
Obviously New Orleans is in the West. But
somebody just came out, was it LeBron or somebody came out and said something about him not making the All-Star?
There's a lot of people coming out being like, this person should have made
like
it.
Devin Booker's like carrying them, right?
Chris Paul's
Chris
there.
Paul.
Chris Paul made it.
I understand, but he's still the frontline guy.
Chris Paul's made a difference. I mean, Chris Paul's going to the
All-Star.
All-Star.
We gave him a ton of credit. Okay, so Chris Paul, a bigger factor for them, or a better player than Devin Booker right now at this stage of his career?
I mean, I think Chris Paul's made the world a difference.
I know he's made a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's hard for me to say. Like
I just don't know. I just don't get using. I mean, the All-Star game is the All-Star game. Yeah, you got the nod. I just don't know if that defines like being a bigger star in the NBA right now, or being having a better year in the NBA right now. I mean, Devin Booker is having an unbelievable season again, and he's been a star. He's been a star for them for a few years. But I think you're right. There's the bias of the West Coast, the bias of Phoenix. Phoenix. I've said this for a long time. Arizona sports can be very irrelevant.
Yeah,
they really can. I mean, people don't talk about the great Larry Fitzgerald for a long time, you know?
Yep.
I mean, we didn't know how good Calais Campbell was around here until he got here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Arizona, you can kind of fall into that trap a little bit. It's fascinating discussion. I mean, there's so many guys that get left off the All-Star team because there's so many stars now in the NBA. I mean, he read the reserves. The reserves are incredible for the All-Star game.
No, very true. And if we want to be fair about it, Devin Booker's averaging 24.7 points a game. Zion's averaging more. He's averaging more rebounds per game than Devin Booker. And as far as the assists per game, it's close, 3.1 for Zion and then 4.3 for Devin.
Yeah, I thought the numbers would be different. Well, when you guys said, when we had this conversation Monday, and I didn't realize, and again, this was kind of the point of the conversation.
Yeah.
You would think at 25 points a game, Zion would be getting a lot more attention. And he just doesn't feel it. Now, maybe I'm just not watching the right stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like I've got ESPN on quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't hear Zion's name a lot. And that was really the kind of the point of the conversation. But at 25 points a game, he's having a very good season. I mean, he obviously is leading the way for the Pelicans. What are they? They're like 11-something? They're not very good, right?
I think they're getting ready to make a run because Lonzo is playing better now.
He's starting to play better?
Also, Lonzo can shoot three-pointers now. Not really sure where that came from. Let's see where the Pelicans are standing right now. Pelicans are 13-17.
Yeah. So right up. Yeah. Kind of in whatever land.
Yeah. I mean, you know that's good enough for the playoffs. I think anybody can go to the playoffs in this league. So
that's true. Hopefully that's good
at
enough
least
for the
bubble
play-in
spot.
game.
Yeah, bubble spot.
Let's stay on Tiger Woods for a moment. We hit it at the top of the show a little bit, but we never answered the question. Do you think he will play golf again?
I do.
I don't mean like down at Jupiter either. I mean, do you think we see him on the PGA Tour again in competitive fashion?
I do. I think an athlete of that big of notoriety, like I said, wants to go out on his own terms. And you want to put a period or an exclamation point in your career, so he's not going to let a car accident take that away from him. Yeah. So I think he will be back.
I tend to do the same. I feel the same way. And I've been I thought Tiger was going to win even after. What people miss about Tiger is just how talented he is. I mean, he is so talented that if he can get back to any kind of good health, he is going to be competitive. Like, you look at the numbers, even though he hasn't even won, or last year it wasn't even great, or he hasn't won like 8 times, like Dustin Johnson, right? And those kind of guys are having better the last few years. But if you still look at the tournaments he enters and look at the stats of his win percentage or whatever you want to take, he's pretty darn good.
Yes.
I saw some of those kind of stats the last couple of days, and I just feel like Tiger getting back to tip-top shape to be competitive with the world's best doesn't take as long as it takes everybody else to get back to tip-top shape. Like Jordan Spieth, okay, hit a down swell.
Yes.
A lot of golfers do. Rory McIlroy did. They almost all do.
David Duval never came back from it.
They almost all do with or without injury, okay?
Sure.
It just happens. And Jordan Spieth's one of them. So Spieth goes in this little swell, and now it looks like he's on the way out of it. My point is it's been like 3 years for Jordan Spieth. Like, that's a long time for a world-class player to not be able to find it. Tiger, if he comes back, it won't take him 3 years to find that kind of form. If he does get back to competitive golf, it might take him like a full year, might take him 15, 18 months, because he does play sparingly. He doesn't play every weekend.
Yeah.
So his gets a little bit delayed in that sense. And again, he's older. So when is the clock going to tick so much that he can't be the guy he was? That's a factor in this. I feel like he will play again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready to say, like, at what level he'll be able to compete again. I'm just not ready to go there. We're going to have to see how this rehab, like, it's way too early in that sense.
There hasn't been a diagnosis yet, right? Like, what he did?
Yeah.
Like the injuries.
Oh, yeah. Big one last night, like he put out.
Okay.
That was like all these doctor terms that it's very hard to understand.
Okay.
It's broken legs. It's a shattered ankle is essentially the long and short of it.
Okay.
And, what can you – listen, the ankle to me is bigger than the broken legs because if you think about pivoting or firing in a golf shot, right?
Yeah.
That ankle is probably a big factor, the stability of that. So
of course. I mean,
again, I'm not trying to be a doctor here, but I would think if you have a bad ankle swinging a golf club in a violent fashion at that level and trying to create swing speed is very, very tough. But this guy also had a fused back, and he was able to do it.
There's just from an athlete's perspective, though, like your feet and your ankles are some of the most neglected things on your body for an athlete, and they're the ones that involve like to increase your base, right? Like any sport, whether it's golf, football, baseball, I mean, there is some sort of base involved. There's balance involved. And when you don't have strong feet, strong ankles, your play is going to suffer regardless of the sport. So, yeah, that's going to be a detriment to him going forward.
How much limitation will be like screws and rods and all that kind of stuff to it? I mean, in today's technology, medicine, do those hamper you to the point where you have no flexibility? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, some folks on Twitter are saying not after hearing how many rods and screws they had to put in him. I don't think he'll be back. And so, maybe that is a factor.
But it's also
I just don't know if it'll
mental.
be the ultimate factor.
But it's also mentally, too. Like, anytime you're in a big wreck like that, like I was in a pretty major car wreck one time where I got ejected I was riding the bed of a pickup truck, and I got ejected from the back. And it's scary, man.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, mentally, you're not there for a while, and especially you talk about golf, which it's so mentally focused. It requires your 100% concentration at all times, it seems like. I mean, how is that going to affect them, you can ask?
This just in, they don't have seatbelts in the back of pickup trucks.
I heard about that, man. Appreciate it. Hindsight's 2020, huh? Yeah, don't ride in the bed of a pickup truck, everybody. It's not going to turn out well.
Don't do it.
Yeah, not going to turn out well.
By the way, Tiger was wearing a seatbelt, part of the story. No impairment that was found on the scene.
Yeah.
And the officer said that, like, he was in a state of shock, but he was coherent, all those things. So I think that part of the story is at least a positive part of the story. Obviously survival, and we're getting way ahead of the golf stuff, but I do think that's what people are asking, right? I mean, and here's one other thought on that, okay? If he can't play golf at the highest of competitive levels, this is a guy that owes nothing to the game in terms of what he's already given it, quite frankly. And now you're going on a career of almost 40 years, even though he's only 45. I mean, the guy's been playing like competitive golf since he was 4.
Yeah.
And I would say this. Let's just say Tiger Woods lives until he's 85. Whatever, if he plays competitively again at the highest of levels and tries to compete for majors, he will still, for the next 4 decades, impact the sport of golf in a crazy amount of ways because of what he'll do from a charitable standpoint with his impact on the game, his reach, his voice, all these different things, if he chooses to be. And by the way, he already has. I think he's going to continue to do that. So Tiger Woods isn't going anywhere. I think the curiosity is his golf game going somewhere? And that is probably just a little too early to tell. South Beach Gary jumping in on the Tiger front. What's up, man?
Hey, awesome, Brent. You're right, Brent. And in fact, it'll be 4 years come July at the Open Championship when Jordan Spieth last won.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, I mean, to see that's unusual, especially for a young guy like that. And I listen, you make putts, you don't make putts. So you never were going to putt like Jordan Spieth putted. Like, he made everything for 2 years. But he also doesn't have like this great strength in his game or weakness in his game. He was pretty steady. Like, his swing was not this violent swing that you couldn't repeat. It was all those things added up in his mind frame. I'm really surprised he struggled. Now, I will say this. He struggled a little bit. You also have some demons you got to get by. And then on some personal levels, life changed for him. He got married, all these other things going on. And that's not a bad thing, but it sometimes, is a different thing to handle. But it sure looks like Spieth's on his way back finally over the last few weeks.
Right. And Brent, I know you're a big Tiger fan. And don't get me wrong, guys. I hope he gets a full speedy recovery for him, his family's sake, everything. Just even if it's just to play golf with his son, Charlie. I mean, I have no ill will against Tiger, but the fact is, he was hard for me to root for, and I don't give a rat about his personal life what happened between him and his ex-wife. That's between them. But the fact, Brent, and you know that, you talked to Jack Nicklaus, how gracious Jack was. Tiger was either surly or blew off the press more times than I can count, and that comes with the territory. If you accept the good, you got to accept, being able to talk to the press is part of your job. Because that comes with the territory of, as they said at the Masters when he was chastised, much is expected of you. To whom much is given, much is expected. And I just thought Tiger treated, compared to other greats of the game, the way Jack and Arnold were, Brent, Jack was very gracious with you, given a few minutes to talk to you. It doesn't cost anything to be nice and decent to people. And it just bothered me, guys, that the way he treated the press, he wasn't real fan-friendly as far as signing autographs. Oh, I don't deny his greatness, and he brought a lot of money and a lot of popularity to the sport. But I just thought, in many ways, he could be a better ambassador to the game. And I'd like to hear you guys comment on that. Thank you.
Thanks, South Beach Gary. 904-362-9901, Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Listen, there's always been a tug of war when it comes to Tiger on that front. I love Tiger Woods, the golfer. I don't think I would emulate him off the golf course, all that stuff. I think there are the criticism is fair. I also say this, and this has been very hard to me to eloquently say over the years. I've tried to even say this to like my mom. One of the reasons why I really appreciate Tiger along the way is really goes back to when he was probably 20, 21, 22. Well, he's like a year older than me. Yeah. And so I always just at that moment captured, like, can you imagine dealing with the stuff that he had to deal with at that age? Mm-hmm. Right. And then as you go along, and I mean, you're talking about a guy that has Beatles status, Michael Jackson kind of status. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, you're talking Muhammad Ali kind of status. I mean, you really are talking. And I'm not saying those folks that I just mentioned, maybe even bigger than Tiger. OK, that's not what the conversation's about. I'm just trying to illustrate to you the demands on time and popularity and what you have to. That is even different than Jack Nicklaus and others. And Jack's great in all of that stuff. And Tiger shouldn't be given a pass for probably some of the things that he did. I think part of a little bit of admiration I now have for Tiger is his ability to change over the last 5 to 7 to 8 years. We've seen that. But being Tiger Woods, I don't think has been easy over the years. Don't envy that part of it. I just think selfishly we just like to watch him play golf. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to fault Tiger for not being nice to the press. I mean, I was never affected by it, obviously. Yeah. And I think of it like, listen, any great artist out there, when you buy a piece of art, you don't care, well, was this artist nice to people or is he mean to people? I appreciate the art. I appreciate what Tiger Woods did for the sport of golf, and I appreciate the effect that Tiger Woods had on my childhood. Yeah, well, so. I think, too, and Nicklaus is a fair example, but I don't even Nicklaus didn't have the popularity that Tiger Woods ended up having. Yeah. And so you can't compare him to other athletes and how he handled himself, because other athletes weren't dealing with what Tiger Woods had to deal with day in, day out. And again, that's not a defense to say, hey, he's really better than you think he is. No, he was not. And I think a lot of that was product of how he was raised. Sure. I mean, we've all seen the documentaries now. I'm just not sure how much that was on time. It was kind of the way he grew up around it. And sometimes you grow up fast. And by the way, I've said this about other athletes too. When you're young and you have to handle a lot of things that are expected of you, it's hard to process that stuff. And you don't always make the right decisions and handle it well. And I think Tiger's certainly in that category. But I mean, we all still love to watch him play golf. Absolutely. If Tom Brady ever stiffed me for an interview and like, you know, he said, nah, sorry, I can't do it. That's fine, Tom. You're the GOAT. I still respect you. Like, I'm not going to lose sleep about it. It's a fascinating part of it all. And I don't think South Beach Gary's wrong, by the way. And I think a lot of people have that perception. I know my mom has that perception. Like, that's why she's like, I can't believe you like Tiger. Yeah. No, Mom, I love Tiger. Uh-huh. We'll be back on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Scary moments yesterday from one of the biggest names in sports.
The accident happened around 7:15 this morning south of Los Angeles near Rancho Palos Verdes. We're told pro golfer Tiger Woods was driving this SUV and was the only person in the vehicle when it somehow lost control, rolled, and ended up on its side. He was taken by ambulance to a hospital where his agent tells Golf Digest that Woods is now in surgery for multiple leg injuries.
That's Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Woods suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries, and he underwent hours of surgery. He's expected to recover. And in baseball news, Tajuan Walker is switching his number on his new team because it already belongs to someone. The mascot. New York Mets mascot Mr. Met wears 00, so Walker will rock 99. The SportsCenter update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Everyone at CGC Water hopes your new year is off to a fantastic start, and CGC Water wants to give you the gift of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean water. Right now, CGC Water is offering $1,000 off a K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. If you're still not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer. $1,000 off a K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer. We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Would you like to be the man you used to be? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution. 98% of their patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Listen to Dr. Brown, a specialist in men's health.
Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom blended medications for ED or PE designed just for you. There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, not a problem. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Have you seen it? The all-new showroom at Arlington Toyota is open, and they're ready to celebrate with big savings, even on pre-owned. Celebrate savings and hearing the words, "You're approved." That's right. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. Plus, if you want selection, Arlington's got it. With over 400 pre-owned on the lot, what are you waiting for? Celebrate with savings and come see the brand new facility at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Switch to T-Mobile for Business and get up to 90 days of service free via virtual rebate on your business plan. You get a great deal, the largest 5G network, and first-class benefits like Microsoft 365 on us. It's better for business and only with T-Mobile for Business. Limited time offer. Stop in-store for details. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Virtual Express MasterCard within 8 weeks of receipt of valid submission. Complete port within 60 days. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices, coverage, and plan details.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
It's a different atmosphere in an event when Tiger's playing and when it's not playing, and he is that big. No matter, even if the best 20 players in the world are playing, if he's not there, you can tell the difference. And it's just sad to see. He was a great ambassador of the game, and looked like he was trying to turn his life around, and maybe looking forward in the future to retirement, spending some great time with his son Charlie. And I just hope he can get out of the hospital walking, meaning after a recovery, and he can still play with his kids and have a normal life.
Sergio?
Rahm.
Ah, it's John Rahm. Spaniard.
Rahm, right? Yep, called it, nailed it.
That was Zion Williamson.
It's a point for me. Oh, you're talking about All-Star? Zion Williamson? You talking about voted All-Star Zion Williamson? Popularity, Mr. Popularity, Mr. Better Than LaMelo Ball, Zion Williamson?
Urban Meyer continues to shake up the building. The Jags shake up the building. I don't know how much is Urban. I'm going to give credit to Urban, whether it's due or not, and whether it's good or bad. I just feel like he's come in and turning that place upside down. We only have a couple minutes here. And then I do want to get on the Yannick Ngakoue front a little bit more deeper dive on that, and Allen Robinson coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. But, when's it done? This one's more communicative. When's Urban done kind of just – we talk football and not get a press release every day on, well, the communication staff now looks a little bit different. The staff is done, the additions to the scouting staff,
yeah.
I mean, don't you get the feel, though, it's almost like, I believe, by the way, the staff has been in place for, now we're talking about a couple weeks, and even then, I think there were some that were in the building before it was announced for a couple weeks. So the staff in some parts could have been together now for like a month. But it just feels from the outside, we're getting all these press releases like, okay, when are they going to do work on the draft?
Yeah, no, for sure.
My point being they are. There are deep dives going on tape. They've already been to Trevor's Pro Day. They're putting a plan together. It just doesn't feel it from the outside. It just feels, I don't know if I'm the only one feeling that way, but it kind of feels like, okay, exactly what I expected. The building's going to get a shake up. And it is. There are things happening inside that building that are going to look and feel different, especially if you're inside the building. I don't know if that's going to feel that way for the fan.
Yeah.
Because some of these things I don't think are impacted by fans unless you really know some of these folks. But it's happening. It really is happening that Urban Meyer is shaking it up. Do you sense that? And do you think this is an ongoing, that the shakeup could continue for a year?
Yeah, let me ask you this. I mean, do you think this is solely Urban Meyer's decision to bring, and is it Amy Polkick?
Palchik, I don't know.
Palchik, okay, but was it solely his idea to bring her on?
First of all, I can't talk from an expert point of view. I don't know what was behind the decision. I don't know if this was already in the works to begin with, or if the Chris Doyle thing spoke badly about the PR department of the Jags, and he made a move then and said, "Okay, we got to do something here."
Yeah.
I'm not saying he brought Amy in, a woman in, because of that. I'm saying, was he dissatisfied with their current arrangement and he wanted to bring others in? Mm-hmm. I don't know. That could have been a trigger point. You could obviously see the dominoes falling in line there. And by the way, she's a popular hire around the NFL. You saw all the remarks when she was hired, and you saw the remarks when she was let go by the Texans. People were stunned by it, from J.J. Watt to national writers and everybody else. Yeah. I do not know Amy at all, so we'll get to know her and meet her, and obviously we will work pretty closely in that regard on the football side of things. But Yeah, I think this had Urban Meyer's fingerprints all over it with some advice from others. But, yeah, I think it was like, okay, we need to do something different here. We need to do more. We need to add. We need to whatever. And this was one of the moves. And I think it was an Urban Meyer move. I think it's so much an Urban Meyer move that he tweeted it out, right? I mean, he announced the hire. That's very unusual for an NFL coach to do that.
No, for sure. But, like, does that make – I mean, I'm new to this this whole scene, but does that make it official then? Because it's not like she hasn't said anything yet.
They had a press release.
And
today.
They did. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, there was a press release today, but I mean that's 2 days after Urban Meyer announced it. If Urban Meyer announced it, it makes it official. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Fair enough.
I mean, but I know you say that, and it is unusual. Like the head coach of the football team doesn't usually announce the director of communications.
Yes.
That's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah.
Maybe some have done it like in a press conference kind of format before and said, hey, we also want to welcome aboard, so-and-so and so-and-so. But, I mean, if you think about it, he didn't announce Ryan Stamper.
No.
Like, he didn't tweet about him.
No.
He didn't tweet about Charlie Strong when he was the right-hand man and the first guy he hired.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, do I think this had a little bit of a public optic view once the way it was announced? Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's part of it, man. I mean, that's just part of the world we live in right now. Everything is viewed at and picked apart, and perception is reality. And so I do, and that's, by the way, is not to take anything away from Amy. Like I said, I don't know her. She's worked in the NFL for a while. There's a lot of very positive, nice things people say about her.
Great feedback, which you like to hear.
So I think the two are separate from each other. If he announced me as the next director of communications, I think he would have done it too. I think he wanted to make sure that it was coming from me because his name was all over the Chris Doyle one.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Well, and do you think this is kind of like, can you let it be now, I guess, and can you move forward now and just handle the football operations, or do you think like he's got to have his hand in more of the optics still?
I think that part's kind of done. I do.
You think so?
Do you feel like the Chris Doyle thing still hangs over the Jags at all right now? Like, I don't, but do you?
No, I don't think so. But, like, it begs the question, do the bad optics still hang over the Jaguars and Urban Meyer?
Yeah.
Because, him announcing on Twitter showed you that there were still some bad optics. At least they felt like it.
They felt like it.
Yes.
Yeah. But, I hesitate because I think it's unfair to put, like, Amy, the director of communications, in the same sentence. I don't want her being used as like a pawn in this game
without
of
a
optics.
Doubt.
You know what I mean?
She's got skills. Doesn't matter if it's a male or female.
That's
She's got
right.
skills.
Well, and even whoever it was announced, I don't want them to be used as the pawn in the game of optics.
Correct.
But the bottom line is the optics are big in the NFL and in sports today, in our world today. And I think this kind of puts a finish to that whole 2-week span where things weren't good and now are better.
See, at the end of the day, though, I feel like right now we're in the preseason of optics building. Okay? And when the season starts, listen, if Urban Meyer starts winning games, that's all you got to do.
Well, and I guess that was really the point of my, we're going to go, but the point of my story was, I think now we talk about football moves. I think that's what's now takes place. We talk about free agency, releasing guys. It's more now about football moves that Urban Meyer makes. That's about to happen next. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Do you want to upsize, move to a different area of town, or leave the area completely, but concerned about getting full value for your existing home quickly? Chad and Sandy are the only agents who guarantee multiple offers at market value or higher in 72 hours, or they'll sell it for free. Their advanced marketing system creates a bidding war, allowing them to attract sky-high prices for homeowners. No long-term contracts, no required repairs. You can cancel anytime and pick your closing date. Jimmy and Lisa in Hidden Hills said, "With our older kids out of the house, we had our hearts set on moving into our dream home." Chad not only got multiple offers in 3 days, but he got the price that allowed us to afford our new dream home. There are no long-term contracts when working with Chad and Sandy. You can cancel at any time, and you can pick your closing date. If you're serious about selling your home, call Chad and Sandy today at 904-414-6200 or go online to chadandsandy.com. That's 904-414-6200 or visit chadandsandy.com.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White Mission.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Chad Ryder. Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva says that Tiger Woods was not drunk during the rollover that seriously injured the 15-time major golf champion at the single-vehicle crash was purely an accident. Woods recovering following surgery to repair significant leg injuries. Steelers team president Art Rooney says the team and Ben Roethlisberger want the quarterback to return for Pittsburgh next season. The sides met yesterday to address his contract, which carries a $41 million cap hit for next season. ESPN's Dan Graziano.
The amount of public discussion that Steelers executives have had about this contract tells me they are trying to make it very clear to the public and to their fans that Roethlisberger can only be on this team if he's willing to make certain sacrifices. And I think I'm very fascinated as someone who spends a lot of time studying the way NFL contracts and the salary cap work. I'm interested to see what form that ends up taking.
ESPN's Dan Graziano. Reigning AL MVP, White Sox slugger Jose Abreu, who has tested positive for COVID-19, will be away from the team for the next several days. He is asymptomatic.
New to the Wendy's 2 for $5 lineup is their classic chicken sandwich. So go grab a 2 for $5 deal and pick 2 faves, like a Dave single, spicy chicken sandwich, nugs, and now the classic chicken sandwich, 2 for just $5. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Cam Newton will be the quarterback of the Patriots next year, but it seems like it will be by default because the demand is greater than the supply right now in the market. I mean, look at, and you read all these articles about, they were involved in, talks with Matthew Stafford just to kind of understand, what the trade assets, the collateral was. Yes, they were looking at potentially Carson Wentz and but all the assets that these are going for, and the amount of picks, it just seems like the price is too high. So if you're Bill Belichick, you're just gonna be patient, stay disciplined, wait, and if you're able to push a guy like, Jimmy G, depending upon what San Francisco wants, if it gets down towards the end and you can make the deal work for you and what's in the best long-term interest of your organization by not giving up too much, okay, or a Marcus Mariota or something like that. But if you don't, you got Cam Newton who's right there, and to all the things that you said yesterday about dealing with COVID, learning the playbook, doing everything on the fly, it seems like that makes the most reasonable sense moving forward if you can't extract the value you want from getting a trade.
Oh, man. I'm by myself. I'm nervous. I should know this answer, but I got nothing, Kuz. Wait, hang on. I take that back.
He's on in the morning.
Keyshawn? Not even close. Oh, it's same show. Different guy. Okay. All right, well, I'm 0 for 1 today. Thankfully, Brent wasn't here to see that disaster. But I think he makes up some great points here. And the main takeaway for me is obviously Matthew Stafford going over to L.A. now. And to me, Matthew Stafford, if you're going to compare him to something, I compare Matthew Stafford to the girl in the bar who's not on the dance floor. She's not showing off per se. She's just sitting there in the corner. And you go up to her, you talk to her, and it's like, you know what? This girl's interesting. This girl's got a lot to offer. That's Matthew Stafford. That's Matthew Stafford in a nutshell. And listen, I've said it before about Jared Goff, and I'll say it again. In terms of quarterback quality, in terms of the skill set, he's always been, Jared, earmuffs, a system quarterback. And I think with what Matthew Stafford's had to deal with, and don't get me wrong, Matthew Stafford's he's had Calvin Johnson, all right? He's had Kenny Golladay. He's had Marvin Jones. He's had TJ Hawkinson. He's had an okay run game, but nothing to shake a stick at. But he's had a pretty solid offensive line, too. But with that being said, he's going to have a lot more in L.A., and we've seen Matthew Stafford put the team on his back, per se, and say, you know what, I'm going to try to win us some games. I'm trying to get us to the playoffs, which he has done before. Not too many times, but he's done it before. So you would think that when Stafford goes to the Rams, they're exponentially going to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's the right answer.
I think the reason I hesitate is because your word exponentially. Exponentially can mean a lot of things. Like that can mean like, holy cow, they're going to get really dramatically better.
I think there's just going to be an increase.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference there a little bit. I think they are better. I don't know if they are. I'm trying to think of a move.
I think here's how I look about it. I think that the quarterback role will be increased and the productivity will be increased when Stafford goes over there compared to Jared Goff, just like I feel it's going to stay stagnant when Carson Wentz goes to the Colts.
Yeah, and what does that do to wins and losses? That's what I'm getting at.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the Rams won a lot of games, and really over the last few years, they've won a lot of games.
Yes.
Like, there's only so much more you can do. Like, Jared Goff, system guy, went to a Super Bowl. Jared Goff won a playoff game and went to the second round of the playoffs this year. Like, that's pretty good on the resume. So you're telling, listen, if Matthew Stafford does well and looks better and they're scoring more points, but they lose in the second round of the playoffs, did he really do that much better? That's what you get measured on. That's why it's hard to calculate.
But here's the thing, though. With Jared Goff, let's be honest. You have the number one defense the entire year in the NFL to play complimentary football with you.
Yes.
Okay? You've had some good wide receivers with Robert Woods, with Josh Reynolds. You've had a good running game now with Cam Akers. You have a pretty solid offensive line. So you have all these things. So it begs the question, when the Rams aren't winning, well, that's got to fall on Goff then, right? Because it seems like you have the tools around you to succeed. In Detroit, when the Lions weren't winning, sure, you got to blame the quarterback. Obviously, wins and losses is tied to the quarterback. But I think for a lot of those games, you didn't walk away and say, well, Matthew Stafford's got to do more. Matthew Stafford had a horrible game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, no, it's Matthew Stafford doesn't have a defense to have his back. Matthew Stafford doesn't really have a running game set aside from Adrian Peterson and the emergence of DeAndre Swift a little bit. So, that's the difference to me.
Yeah, that's fair, too. I think I've said this about Stafford, man. I think he's one of the few guys in the history of the game that has produced these kind of numbers and has been a franchise quarterback, but the win-loss record is so poor. Mm-hmm. And so is he an enigma in that sense? Was it his fault? Was it Detroit's fault? I don't know. And we're about to find out because he's going to go to a better situation, a situation where they actually have won the last few years. And if he can't win there or if they go on the decline, it's going to be a little bit for some reason on Stafford. Doesn't matter if he's putting up good numbers or not. Maybe it's a leadership thing. Maybe it's buying into him. Maybe it's people believing in him. Maybe it's whatever it is. Maybe this is just this intangible bad luck thing.
Yeah.
It will make something up fictitiously, perhaps.
Yeah.
But it's just he's an odd guy. There are not many people, and I don't mean the personality, there are not many athletes like Matthew Stafford that have come along to be as good at that spot that's so important in the game, but not necessarily produce results. I'll give you an example of a guy.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll give you DeGrom for the Mets.
Sure.
For a 2 years.
The DeGrominator.
For like a 2-year span.
Yep.
They wouldn't score runs for him. He couldn't win.
Oh, yeah. What was the record? He had
something crazy. I don't even have it.
They're saying Cy Young, though.
Well,
and
I think he did win the Cy Young when he had this minimal amounts of wins. But I'm even thinking of the year prior, I believe. There was this stat somewhere out there where it was there was 30-something starts, and they had 2 runs or less of offensive production in 28 of them. It was something crazy. It's ridiculous stat. And that's to me. Now listen, DeGrom was the best in the game, so that's giving Stafford too high a praise. But I'm trying to find the similar situation where your team still doesn't even do well. Yeah. You lose games despite performance.
So back in 2018, And what is this? I think he was obviously he was an all-star then. But back in 2018, he went 10-9.
Yeah.
ERA 1.70.
Yeah, he was like the best pitcher in the game, but he couldn't win. So it's so odd, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's an interesting thing with Stafford, and he's kind of that guy.
And by the way, he won the MVP that year too. Or I'm sorry, he finished fifth in the MVP vote. But
but he won the Cy Young that year.
Won the Cy Young
with 10 wins.
Yeah, he went 10-9.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
I just asked a question. We did this for just a minute or two in the first segment of the show. Yannick Ngakoue might get tagged by Baltimore, might be set free to be a free agent. Mm-hmm. Maybe they sign him to a deal, though it doesn't look likely. We're basically a year after the Jan stuff. We're not quite there in the calendar, but it went on for so long. We're 18 months after the fact where he was basically like, I want out.
Sure.
And he ends up getting out. And I just remember the reaction at the time being like, well, he won. Like, he wanted out, right? It was this exodus from Jacksonville, Jalen Ramsey. You could say he won. Jags, they got some picks for it, and they'll, recoup some of those assets in this upcoming draft. But when they traded him to Minnesota, Jan wanted out. Jan got his way.
Yeah.
I'm not here to even criticize Jan, depending on how you view this, or maybe you praise Jan in this instance. But a year later, who's better off? Is it Yannick Ngakoue, who's now been to 3 teams with Baltimore, made a little bit of a playoff run, was a part of the puzzle, didn't have a monster year, could get tagged or go into free agency, but still has left some money on the table now over the years? Or is it the Jaguars better off that they didn't, even though they might have offered and wanted to get something done way back in 2019?
Yeah.
They didn't, because now they're not on the hook for a $100 million contract. They didn't spend all that guaranteed money. They're not $18 million locked up a year for essentially a player the last couple of years that has averaged about 8 sacks a season.
Yeah.
Who's better off?
Well, listen, without putting hindsight into it, I mean, you have to go Yannick Ngakoue because, like you said, he got what he wanted. The most important thing to Yannick Ngakoue was getting out of Jacksonville. It was finding himself in a new culture with a new team, with a new head coach and all this type of stuff. Well, I don't know about the new head coach part, but just a new culture in general. And Yannick Ngakoue got that. If he was truly concerned about the money, he would have took the franchise tag, played here, and the rest is history. He didn't do that. He got out. Now he's on the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see what transpires from that. But let's be honest, and without being biased, the Baltimore Ravens have a lot better shot of going to the Super Bowl, I feel like, this up and coming season than the Jaguars do. So I think he's in a good position.
Yeah, I don't think he's in a bad position, but we also can't deny the fact that his earning potential has diminished.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. Because if he hits free agency, he's not now getting that $100 million deal, $90-something million deal. Like, he hasn't performed in Minnesota and Baltimore to that degree over the last year to set himself up for a big payday in free agency. I don't know what he'll get. Like, I don't know if it's $14 million a year. Is it more like a Dante Fowler kind of contract? But do remember now, even at the worst case scenario, you could say it was $16 to $17 million a year, depending on who you want to believe about the offer for Yannick Ngakoue. And I won't even get wrapped up in that. The bottom line is he could have already had a bunch of money in the bank.
Sure.
So from a business standpoint, I get what you're saying. I think that's part of it. That's why I asked the question this way. He has lost value. He's like a stock in a sense that, you thought you bought low, you're going to sell high, but that thing has come down a little bit now, and so you're not selling as high as you thought. You can still make something off it,
of course,
but you're not selling as high as you thought. So as much as, he might be in a better place, and he's happier not being in Jacksonville, his bank account isn't as happy, and his financial advisor could be happier.
No, for sure. But at the same time, though, how many edge rushers are out there right now that are to command more money than him?
Yeah, it's a good question. Now, Von Miller, it sounds like it could potentially be out there.
Von Miller could. We'll see. I mean, you got Clowney again. You got Ryan Kerrigan, who's obviously up there in age. Aldon Smith, who comes with his own set of problems. Melvin Ingram, didn't he just get a new contract?
I thought he had.
I'm looking at this USA Today article. They say Melvin Ingram. I don't know about that. Everson Griffin.
Depending on how you look at Judon, I know he's listed as a linebacker, but he's also a pass rusher. So
yep, you got Marcus Golden, Carl Lawson, Olivier Vernon, Trey Hendrickson. and Leonard Floyd. So and Bud Dupree, Shaq Barrett. So you hear those names, and obviously we'll see what Shaq Barrett, what transpires with him. I feel like they're going to be crazy if they let Shaq Barrett go. Just my opinion.
Yeah, Barrett would be the guy.
I feel like he's going to stick there.
But they might not be able to afford him, man.
True. So, I mean, when you have Leonard Floyd, when you have Trey Hendrickson, you have Judon, and you have Yannick Ngakoue kind of in the same caliber, I mean, I'm not sure what the market right now is for edge rushers, but I'm just saying the depth, per se, isn't really that high.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously Yannick Ngakoue lost some money because he didn't have over 10 sacks. And to me, 10 sacks is always the magic number to have. And he didn't have that. But at the same time, I think the market in terms of the value that he can get could still be up there just because the competition he's going against. There isn't a lot of guys up there that really are going to command a lot of money.
He's not going to have trouble buying groceries. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
But, he made $3.5 million on his rookie deal. He was a third-round pick. And he made $12 million last year. He reduced his salary to get the trade, remember. Like, he reduced it. So he's made now $16 million, we'll round up to, in his career in 5 years in the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, he could already have $50 million maybe in the bank by the end of this season if he had signed that deal, or $40 million, or wherever people fall on it. I forget the numbers now. I almost forget the details of it all.
Yeah.
But the point being, he definitely cost himself money by wanting to get out of Jacksonville. Now, money isn't everything. He wanted out of Jacksonville. He got out of there. And really, if you flip it around, Austin, again, player is going to be fine. He's going to make money, and he's still not even 26 years old. He's just about to turn 26 years old. He's got plenty of time to make a lot of money. So this is not like, again, super critical on Jan. What it is instead is I feel like sometimes organizationally, we don't look at teams getting lucky for what they didn't do. And I say this a lot in the who's the guy that went from Miami to the Giants? Olivier Vernon.
Who's now a free agent as well.
Yeah, who's now a free agent and then went to Cleveland.
Yes.
And by the way, he hasn't played poorly, but that was like a $95 million contract, which was like a huge contract at the time. He did not live up to that. He has not played to that. I always say the Jags got outbid there because he wanted to go play in a big market. Jags got lucky. That was a better contract to not have, quite frankly. And they might have ended up with Calais Campbell because of that. That's a lucky thing that happens because it didn't work out. So I'm sitting here and I'm saying the same thing. A year later, when the Jags looked like they were in an awful situation last year, and now they look like they're in a better situation financially, new coach, there's a brighter future, Trevor Lawrence, all this stuff, and they don't have a $100 million contract on the books. And their cap space, they have the most out of anybody in the league, partly because of that. I feel like this might be one of those moves that the Jaguars are better off for not making, not happening. And they were responsible for some of it not happening.
Yeah.
And listen, this is coming from a guy who was adamant that I want to keep him. I want Josh Allen, that Yannick Ngakoue. I want two guys under 25 years old rushing the passer for the next 5 to however many years in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But I am looking at it now a year later and saying, you know what? It didn't work out. It was a little egg on the face of the organization. It just added to whatever else was going on. But now that you reset things and move forward here as we approach March 2021, it really wasn't a bad thing that you didn't go spend $100 million in a contract, all this guaranteed money, and maybe $18-20 million a year on a guy that, quite frankly, has had more 8-sack years than 12-sack years.
No, for sure. Listen, I was the guy that was saying I want to see $18 million a year for Yannick Ngakoue. I wanted to see him make the same money that D Ford was making, the same money. Not D Ford. Who was the
Frank Clark?
Frank Clark. Thank you very much. And then DeMarcus Lawrence.
And that's the other thing that hurts Jan, because those guys had just okay years as well this year.
Well, and that was I was getting ready to say here is that both those guys haven't exceeded expectations. So I feel like when you paid those guys, I think it was around $100 million a piece, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit. Well, that hurt the market in general, right? Now all of a sudden Clowney wasn't getting what he wanted to get. Then Yannick Ngakoue wasn't making what he wanted to get. So I think we're going to see maybe a new era. And once again, we'll see with the whole I gotta believe and we'll see with the Chris Godwin situation and who they all bring back. But I got to believe that Shaq Barrett gets a new contract, or at least he gets franchise tagged. I know they're saying Chris Godwin's getting franchise tagged, but I don't see the Buccaneers letting Shaq Barrett go. But, to me, that's a guy that has earned $18 million a year. or $19 million a year, right? And I'm not sure what even his numbers were this past season. I think they're pretty high, but I know what I saw from the playoffs. The guy was an animal. And I believe, the market of the edge rusher and, spending that $20 million, that might be gone now, right? Just because what the past shows us. So it's an interesting thing because edge rushers are always valuable. I mean, you need them to win football games. They're the ultimate game changer, if you will. I think the edge rusher and obviously the shutdown corner on defense are the two biggest pieces, and an honorable mention to the 3-technique interior guy as well. But with that being said, when guys aren't producing with their high contracts, it's going to affect the market. And right now, I think you're going to see a situation where the market will get affected.
It's a cold, hard world in the business world, right? A lot. I think sometimes organizations try to do the players the right way.
Yeah.
I think, and not all the time. I understand around here you have the Ramsey stuff and the Jan stuff that tarnishes what I'm about to say to a degree. But you had I can give you examples of Alan Hearns. I can give you examples of Blake Bortles, right? Mm-hmm. Blake Bortles performs. They think, okay, he's earned it. It's time to give him an extension. Well, you're better off if you don't make that deal. You're better off if you franchise or pick up the option or whatever you do, whatever it is, instead of treat the player right, because that's part of it. You got to treat the player right if you want other players to come in.
Yeah.
But if you now look, I always wonder, Austin, how many times if you would just play it as like this cold, hard businessman all the time, if you're better off not making the deal. And the reason I say it is, look at now. Carson Wentz, different team. Jared Goff, different team after big contracts. You think San Francisco's excited about Jimmy Garoppolo making what he's making? You think Jerry Jones is excited about what he caved in and gave to Ezekiel Elliott? You think of those kind of deals that went awry. And now, I'm sure there's a bunch to say, hey, that was a good investment. But if you didn't have to worry about the locker room and what the money says, as you often say,
sure,
you wonder on the old, got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holding might be a good idea.
But listen,
more
for sure.
often than not.
Absolutely. And since, this is the ultimate hindsight game right now.
Yeah, it is.
So let's go ahead and play the hindsight game real quick. Let's say that the Jaguars did offer Yannick Ngakoue, let's say $18 million.
Yeah.
Would you, that's feasible?
Yeah, I think
that's kind of what we were talking about.
If they could have come to a deal for $18 million, they could have got it done, right?
Yeah, so let's call it 18.5. It doesn't, it's
just
whatever,
18,
dude.
whatever.
$18 million. Okay. So let's say it's $18 million. And let's say Yannick Ngakoue's here. So you keep him. Obviously, Chaison's not really even a thing.
Not even in the picture.
So now all of a sudden, well, then what do you go after in the draft, right? If you have your edge taken, do you go wide receiver?
Maybe you get Justin Jefferson.
And this is where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you maybe get Justin Jefferson. Maybe. Once again, this is the hindsight game.
That's good.
But here's what I'm talking about, though.
Trevon Diggs.
Regardless of, no, for sure. Regardless of if Justin Jefferson was here, if Yannick Ngakoue was here, all this stuff, let's be honest. They weren't going to win over 3 games this year.
True.
I think.
True.
Okay, I don't think.
Those guys aren't like 5-win guys.
No,
yeah.
And listen, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think if you have Justin Jefferson and Yannick Ngakoue, maybe you win an extra 2 games, and that's super, super generous.
Yes.
Regardless of that, though, you're going to bring a new coaching staff. Okay? Hands down. And let's say that coaching staff turns to run a 3-4 defense. And now you have Josh Allen and Yannick Ngakoue playing in a 3-4 defense. This is what I wanted all along. This is what I talked about when they drafted Josh Allen. I have the pieces are in place to play a 3-4, put Yannick on the outside, let him stand up, be an athlete. He's a little undersized. Now he can, now he can benefit his skill set. Would you feel better, though? Would you feel better if Ngakoue was in a 3-4 defense right now here in Jacksonville? Would you feel better if, and nothing against Caleb on Chaisson, he might be the future.
Yeah,
we'll
he
see.
hasn't done anything.
Exactly. Would you feel better about that?
In all honesty, I would feel better. I feel better that the Jags are going to the 3-4 looks that will help Chaisson, I believe.
Absolutely.
So I don't mind some of the upside there.
Yeah.
But to answer your question succinctly, yes, I would feel better.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would maybe have Justin Jefferson too, and now I don't need to go look at a number 1 wide receiver in free agency, and there's the $20 million you might be spending to try to get that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if Justin Jefferson would have had that kind of year here.
Yeah.
So maybe the book wouldn't be.
No,
fully,
I mean, yeah. Listen, well, once again, this is the hindsight game.
It's a
after all.
hindsight game that's very interesting though, because it's buyer beware on what the Jags do have the advantage of, and that's free agency.
Yeah.
The Jags hit on free agency to get really good in 2017. That was part of it.
Yeah.
From Tayshaun Gibson to Malik Jackson to Calais Campbell.
Yep.
To, I'm missing somebody in there, but somebody else that they did well with, okay?
Yeah.
You can't count on that all the time.
Yeah.
Because usually you swing and miss in free agency. And that's really the point of this conversation is, you can look back.
Yeah.
And you might have saved some money by deals you didn't do. But when you go spend it, be careful because you can make the wrong buys.
Last Yannick Ngakoue question. You remember the rumors how we got $18 million or $19 million in that offer supposedly, but we've obviously heard different.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do you think that number was that he turned down? That he was so offended by where it's like absolutely.
I think the annual was in the 17s.
See, I think it was 16.5.
It might have been.
Yeah, it might have been.
It's really how it was structured.
Yeah.
That to answer your question, like the Jags would say, "Oh no, it's 17.8."
Yeah.
They would say it's 16.5. Like I've heard both sides of that argument for months and months.
I've heard a lot of things about that argument. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
and so. And I don't really know which one to believe half the time, quite frankly. But I know it wasn't this.
The low.
It wasn't 20.
No, it wasn't
21,
20, and
and
that's
19.
more
what he was seeking initially.
For sure. Yeah.
We'll be back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with a Players Championship giveaway.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Sunny and nice today, but we will have high pollen counts. Highs reach the mid-70s, dropping into the mid-40s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Cease and desist.
You gotta love lawyer talk, don't you? I got a letter from the competitor's lawyer accusing us of stealing all their best people. They demanded that we cease and desist. The ugly truth is that the other company was actively driving away their best people. Management didn't treat them right, so they voted with their feet. And most of those plumbers and techs initially hired on somewhere else other than Griffin Service. Except those somewhere else companies weren't any better in terms of how they mistreated their people. So a few of those guys came to work for me at Griffin Service, where I absolutely gave them the respect and appreciation they deserved. Then word got around.
If you want the best job you'll ever have, come work for Tom at Griffin Service.
That's good news for amazing AC techs and plumbers, and bad news for my competitors and their lawyers. Because I'm not going to stop revolutionizing the AC and plumbing industries here in Jacksonville, and I'll never cease and desist from treating my people and my customers the way they deserve.
GriffinService.com.
License number 1250697.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope. And you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Hey, boss, check this out. You're never home alone and you're never away from home with Safe Touch.
What now? Never home alone. Now that one I get. It's because of the two-way communicator.
Yep. Any emergency and you're talking with the operator in seconds.
Right. Never home alone. Yeah, but what about this never away from home thing?
See, with Safe Touch's smart home automation, you can control your house from anywhere.
What, is it that smartphone thingy again?
Yeah, with the Safe Touch app, you can check your camera feeds, turn on the lights, drop the AC down, lock the doors. Boss, it's like you're there.
Never away from home. Never home alone, never away from home. This changes nothing. I still hate Safe Touch, and we still gotta stick to the Crooks or Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses. I need an aspirin.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
How's it going? Oh, let me tell you how it's going. So far this year, I've broken my pinky toe, had a flat tire, and currently I'm trying to pass a kidney stone the size of Rhode Island.
Well, karma strikes again.
What?
Nothing. Oh, look, it's the first Crooks R Us survey of 2021. They're asking crooks like us to list the top reasons we avoid safe touch houses.
There's the crash and smash technology, the video monitoring.
Yeah, but what's number one?
Gotta be the two-way communicator.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah, the two-way communicator leads to verified alarms, which lead to faster response times, which are all very bad for us crooks.
Which all just circles back to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
From restaurants to retail to entertainment and more, over 150 businesses across Jacksonville have become connectable, providing employment opportunities for people with autism, Down syndrome, and other intellectual differences. Celebrate their inclusiveness and support these businesses at the citywide Shopability Celebration on Saturday, March 6th. Visit connectablejacks.com to see the Shopability map, then shop away on Shopability Saturday. Learn more at connectablejacks.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Ugh, nothing's worse than starting trouble. We can help you out. We can start with a free battery test. That way we'll know if your battery is causing the issue. It could be your starter or your alternator. You don't want to waste money on the wrong fix. And if you do need a new battery, we've got you covered with a wide selection of replacement batteries. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination. Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2019.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
DSC. There are so many razors out there. How do you choose which one's right for you? Well, at Dollar Shave Club, we got you. With a 6-blade cartridge for daily shavers with short hair and a 4-blade cartridge for less frequent shavers with longer hair. Still confused? Well, we put both blades in one new starter box, so you can test drive both. Check out dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, dollarshaveclub.com/ESPN, and visit DSC at your nearest store. You've got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Now at a store near you.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. You can even rent 2021 models. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
From restaurants to retail to entertainment and more, over 150 businesses across Jacksonville have become connectable, providing employment opportunities for people with autism, Down syndrome, and other intellectual differences. Celebrate their inclusiveness and support these businesses at the citywide Shopability Celebration on Saturday, March 6th. Visit connectablejacks.com to see the Shopability map, then shop away on Shopability Saturday. Learn more at connectablejacks.com.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss has you working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
I had braces. I still have my permanent retainer in. It's been knocked out twice.
Brent Martineau.
So it's not stuck in there.
No, it's not stuck in there.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
I will say that whatever's happened, he's always come back from it in a pretty amazing way. He's an amazing human being that has done incredible things. I mean, you look back to Ben Hogan and what happened with him in the bus crash, right? And what he was able to do after that. And so I have no doubt in my mind he'll be back, and take him a little longer, I'm sure. But from my perspective, he's one of the most impressive human beings I've ever met. And I think that he'll come back just fine.
That is Bryson DeChambeau on Tiger Woods. Obviously, the dominating story. Tiger Woods in a major car accident yesterday in California, out of surgery, but it's going to take some time now. And who knows if golf is in the future for Tiger Woods or not. The lower leg injury is that severe, but the golf world continues to react. We know this. Tiger Woods is out of golf for a while, won't be at the Players' Championship here in 2021. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Wednesday, 2 weeks away from the Players' Championship. Let's bring in the executive director of the Players' Championship, joins us each and every year, a couple times during the year, especially leading up to the Players. It's Jared Rice. And Jared, before we get to the Players, I know everybody's thoughts with Tiger Woods in the golf world, but can you kind of illustrate what the impact in your world is of hearing something like Tiger? I mean, everybody knows. You've seen it's everywhere. It's all across news and social media. But you live in that world. What was kind of the reaction in your buildings yesterday when that came down?
Well, thanks for having me on, Brett. And just you said it. First and foremost, you've heard it in the trades and among the players, but it's true that for someone who's been so transcendent for the game and a multiple-time champion at the Players, we see that kind of news. The first thing that is he all right? Is everything gonna be okay? Was on a call, as probably you might expect at that time, and all of a sudden the phones were kind of jumping off the hook and the texts were going off, and you kind of had to ask yourself the question a couple times: did this happen? What had happened? And certainly thinking about his well-being, just being an unbelievable ambassador for the game of golf and the Players' Championship. So it was a little surreal yesterday, to say the least. But I think knowing now that he's made it through surgery and is on a positive path is what's most important, and really, really great to see all of the tour's players coming out and support the way that you just heard Bryson's comments, the way that they are just really shows how much they appreciate him and what he's done for the game, and that they hope he recovers quickly.
Yeah, of course, two-time winner of the Players' Championship is Tiger Woods. Let me ask you one more Tiger-related part of this. Yeah. We think golf, or selfishly, I say this all the time, selfishly, I'm a huge Tiger guy. I want to see him golf, and it's more about me than him. Sorry, Tiger. But I just think a lot of us think that way. That's a greatness, right? We want to see Tom Brady play. We want to see, name your superstar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. I mean, we get this selfish nature about us when we get to see the greats. Heck, I think even most recently, Serena Williams. We wonder if she's nearing the end. Like, oh, no, don't walk away. You still got some great tennis in you. But outside of on the course, I mean, if he never played again, and I don't even want to speculate that, I'm just saying if he never did, he's going to impact the game for the next 2, 3, 4 decades regardless, right?
Well, I think just going back to when he established, yes, he will. And, we're so lucky to, be in this era and to see what he has done. And I'd certainly argue for him to be, the greatest of all time, and welcome that debate with anybody. Is incredible. I mean, you may have heard Commissioner Monahan's comments today about the World Golf Championships. He's won 18 of them, and the strength of those fields, that we have, I think it's 48 or 49 of the top 50 this week at the concession. That stat in and of itself is absolutely incredible. So, just really, just the impact that he's had is absolutely incredible to the game of golf, and we certainly hope that he not only gets back to playing, but given how much he has given to the game, established his foundation that's the beneficiary of the event last week in Los Angeles, his President's Cup and Ryder Cup involvement, that there's a lot around the game that he is involved in. And, before we look forward, let's really consider how much he has gone through and how much he has done competitively, yet he has done an amazing job through his foundation for youth, in all of the communities in which we've played. So just an unbelievable career, and certainly hoping that it continues.
Jared Rice with us, Executive Director of the Players Championship. It's on the horizon, just 2 weeks away. All right, man,
Yeah.
you fired up? What's the story over there? I mean, limited tickets, sold out fast. You got a great field coming in. I was over there, I would say, 3 weeks ago now. The golf course is unbelievable, not surprising. Come on, how fired up are you after last year, especially not being able to get it in?
Hey, 13. We're gonna crown a champion. That's what that's what we're gonna do this year. And we're less than 2 weeks out. The community has responded unbelievably related to tickets, and I think the message is clear that we are making these decisions about limited capacities responsibly and out of necessity, and certainly look forward to getting back to great deep galleries in 2022. But for the near term, how quickly that those tickets sold is just emblematic of how great this community is. So we're fired up. We're really excited. It's going to be great. It'll be different, but it's going to be great. You said it. The field is as stacked as it's ever been. We've got great commitments. The course is absolutely unbelievable. It's had a lot of rain, and then on days like today, I'm just looking out the window. I don't think there's a cloud in the sky. So it is just looking tremendous out here, and the conditions are going to be top-notch and ready for these guys to give it all they can handle.
Jared, we were there last year, and obviously the world seemed to kind of stand still a little bit when, the championship got shut down. We were covering it, obviously, and then from there, everything kind of fell into place and everything started getting shut down. Now, it's great that you guys are back and you're offering a limited capacity. From your perspective, what's been the most challenging part this year of planning this thing, of getting this thing up and running to make sure that fans can attend it?
Yeah, I think as you just kind of for any of us as we navigate every day, just the uncertainty and the changing nature of what we're going through with this pandemic, and identifying how can we do this responsibly, safely, and deliver a great championship for our community. So that's been the biggest challenge. And again, in complete candor, we are built to have deep crowds and galleries and to bring everybody out. So our challenge is, how do we do this at, again, limited capacities and, still deliver the tournament back to Northeast Florida. So one of the things that we've done is our Every Shot Live product that is on NBC Sports Gold, that app. So if you have purchased a ticket in 2019 or 2020, you're going to get an email on March 8th whereby you will receive an opportunity to have that subscription for free for the week. That's one step for us saying, listen, we know we can't have everyone who's come out previously, but we're going to bring the tournament to you, and we're going to put it right in the palm of your hand. You can watch every shot of your favorite golfer for 4 straight rounds, assuming they make the cut, of course. But that's just one example of us saying, how are we going to challenge ourselves to make sure that we can still bring this tournament to our fans that aren't otherwise able to come out.
Jared Rice with us, Executive Director of the Players Championship. Speaking of, we have a trivia question, and call in 904-362-9901. Coos, check your text for the answer, by the way. I just sent it to you. How many hours of coverage for Every Shot Live? We'll take some calls over the next couple of minutes, and maybe closest to the pin here might work
yeah,
best.
Brett, I got to tell you, listen, I saw this answer, and let me just give your listeners a hint. It's a big number. It's 3 figures, and I would never have guessed it was that much. But it's just it really is again just kind of indicative of the product and how much content there is. And for our fans here in Northeast Florida, they're going to have an opportunity to play or pay close attention to the tournament and have it right on their mobile phone. So we're excited about this.
Yeah, 32,000 shots of live golf. I remember this was a big story last year, Jared, going into it. To be able to unveil this now, right, and just where golf is going and where the consumer is and all of that stuff. I mean, this is really internally, this is a massive deal for the PGA Tour and the Players Championship, isn't it?
So for no other place on tour can you see every shot by every player on every day live. So if Victor Hovland is your favorite player or Rory McIlroy, they're in the field. You can watch them from 6:30 tee time to whenever they're done. And we have fibered the entire course. That's an incredible investment, and that's how much we believe in not only this tournament and elevating it, but in the product and our players and how great it is to be able to bring our fans, their favorite player at any time. So it's not done anywhere else. It's a pretty incredible technology. So we're again really excited to be able to bring this to our community this year.
All right, players championship golf balls, putter head cover, koozie. That's part of the giveaway. How many hours of coverage for every shot live? Jared has said it's it has 3 numbers. It's a big number. Okay,
it's on the juicy side of 3 numbers.
I'll give you another hint.
That?
Think like airplanes.
I was going to go there, but I didn't want to come out of the gate with that, Brent.
904. We're not out of the gate. We're now a couple minutes into this.
Exactly.
Say the number now.
904-362-9901 for the prize pack if you can get that clue. Hey, last thing for you, Jared. How are you doing? You obviously sold out so quickly. Are you happy with the way things have gone from a fan perspective, or with what you have in place? I know you wish you could open it to everybody, but you're going to do some extra things around town with parties at restaurants and golf courses, and it's allowed you guys to be creative, I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. We have, as for instance, for those that are coming out, we're still having local restaurants be a part of this. That is what the tournament has been known for. It's still going to be a great experience. Now, again, it's not going to be as big or as many of them, but we said, okay, well, how can we go to partners like ABBQ, Hoptinger, V Pizza, others, and say, all right, well, what can you do in your restaurants and facilities or how can we do it together to support the tournament? And they're going to do drink specials and giveaways, and a great opportunity to go out and watch the tournament and come together around the tournament. We get it. This is usually the week when we're all coming together out here. How do we come together safely, either by watching every shot live with your friends in your house, or safely out at some great local restaurants that Jacksonville is known for? That's how we rally around this. Even playing golf. If you can't otherwise come out, go play. And just again appreciate how just the magnitude of the tournament, what it does for the community, and doing those things really does help the community recognize and realize what we have and really start building it back up for 2022. All
right, we're going to talk more in depth about the Players' Championship next week as well with Jared Rice. We appreciate you jumping on, man. Looking forward to it a couple weeks away. I know you guys are working hard, and it's going to be an awesome event coming up. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
Indeed. Be good. Talk to you soon.
All right, Jared Rice, Executive Director of the Players' Championship, and it's cool to see how they adapt,
Yeah.
And again, that every shot thing is a big deal. And in the world of potential betting and gambling, it's a big deal. Yep. So that certainly is a part of the story when it comes to every shot that is now available at any moment for you. We're going to take a time out. We come back, have our Money Minute, and an answer to the trivia question, if you haven't got it yet, coming up on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Scary moments yesterday for one of the biggest names in sports.
The accident happened around 7:15 this morning south of Los Angeles near Rancho Palos Verdes. We're told pro golfer Tiger Woods was driving this SUV and was the only person in the vehicle when it somehow lost control, rolled, and ended up on its side. He was taken by ambulance to a hospital where his agent tells Golf Digest that Woods is now in surgery for multiple leg injuries.
That's Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Woods suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries, and he underwent hours of surgery. He's expected to recover. And in baseball news, Tajuan Walker is switching his number on his new team because it already belongs to someone. The mascot. New York Mets mascot Mr. Met wears 00, so Walker will rock 99. The Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hello, you have reached the Crooks of Rust Training Helpline. Today we're explaining the term verified alarm to all you newbies out there.
Oh, boss, I can explain that. A verified alarm just means that whatever caused the security system alarm to go off has been verified.
Correct. And what alarm company is known for providing the fastest verified alarms?
Safe Touch Security.
Exactly. Because Safe Touch has the two-way communicator, which leads to alarm verification within seconds.
And alarm verification is very bad for us crooks.
Yeah, unlike a non-verified alarm that police label a low priority.
Like right below getting Grandma's cat out of a tree low.
So, to sum up, verified alarms. Just one more reason we crooks have the golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses. Remember that, and you'll be fine.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Only one security system is truly the best. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Beard's Diamond's most exciting offer is back for a limited time.
0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get 0 down.
It's the sale smart jewelry shoppers wait for.
You get Beard's already low prices.
But then you get to spread your payments out for 60 months with no money down.
But hurry, this incredible finance opportunity won't last long.
How about a $6,000 Decory or Veragio ring?
You pay just $100 a month.
Or a pair of $3,000 stud earrings.
You pay just $50 a month.
And every purchase at Beard's Diamonds is backed by our free lifetime warranty.
Now's the time to get her that designer setting she's been dreaming about and spread your payments out for 5 years.
Find your total price by 60, and that's all you'll pay per month.
Don't miss out on the best deal of the year. 0% financing for 5 years. Plus, get 0 down on everything in the store.
Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope. And you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
The Max Kellerman Show.
Doug Peterson, if you are losing by 11, like I love aggression in coaches, but there is such a thing as situational football.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And now, watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Hey, welcome back. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Good to have Jared Rice with us from the Players' Championship, just a couple of weeks away. And the answer to that trivia question was 747 hours. It's pretty amazing. Go check out the Shot by Shot live, over 32,000 shots at the Players' Championship. Brent Martineau here, and we bring in our friend Mike Lester from Talon Wealth Management right now. Mike, how we doing? How are the markets doing? Some late news this afternoon, it looks like.
Yeah, hey, good day. I'm doing great. Hope you guys are doing great. Listen, another record high today. Things didn't look great this morning, but ended very, very well. Basically, people say, well, hey, why? There were some inflation fears out there with everything going on and all the spending and stimulus and potential stimulus. And the Fed came out today and kind of eased those fears. So things are looking better. I think there's a lot of reasons not to be real worried about inflation. I can see why people are. But, even with the spending and everything going on, once they kickstart this economy, it's going to have to keep going, and I think there's maybe a little bit of doubt that after stimulus that it'll keep going as fast as it's going. So, we'll see what happens, but great day in the market, and listen, I'm glad our clients were able to participate in it.
Yeah, Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management. You could be a client of his as well, 904-515-5000, or visit guardingyournestegg.com. You just said something that's pretty interesting about the economy, but also about the market. How separate are the two? How are people sometimes fooled by that? Is it the same? I mean, where do you fall in that explanation?
Well, if you look at things right now, we're coming off of some pretty bad times. But in my opinion, not all the math really adds up. So, for example, we hear about how terrible things are, but home sales are through the roof, right?
Yeah.
So, if things are really that bad, how come home sales are through the roof? Where's that money coming from? Why is the market doing so well? And so you have to look at, well, where is the economy really hurting? And it's mostly hospitality, which obviously here in Florida, hurts us. It's certainly restaurants and things like that, but it's picking up in Florida. Overall, things look pretty good, but with all the stimulus that they're talking about spending, and I'm not convinced they'll get it done, but let's say they get it done, it probably is a pretty big jump start or, stimulus to the economy. But then you have to ask yourself, in order to get inflation, the economy has to continue to grow. It has to do really well. People have to keep jobs, have to keep spending money. And that's hard to say that that'll happen at this point. I mean, it could be the opposite. After they spend all this money, then try to figure out how to pay it back. That could be detrimental to the economy. So we got to watch it close.
There's a lot to digest. There's a lot to ask. So ask Mike Lester, Talon Wealth Management. He'll be the perfect partner, complimentary analysis and plan as well. 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, Mike. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, you too. Thanks.
That's Mike Lester, Talon Wealth Management. That's your Money Minute here on Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. By the way, you can listen to the Guarding Your Nest Egg show on the weekends right here on ESPN 690 at 9 a.m. When we come back to some football. Why are Jags fans so in love with the idea of Allen Robinson? We've talked a lot about Allen Robinson, but this keeps coming up. I feel like there's this swell. Is it just me on social media, the people I see, follow? Is that kind of where I'm going wrong here? Maybe everybody doesn't want Allen Robinson back as much as if there's like one free agent everybody could sign, it feels like it's Allen Robinson.
True.
So why is that? It's an interesting relationship between fans and A-Rob, and I'm curious.
The one that got away, Brent.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he has a little bit of that, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. That's the story coming back.
Everyone at CGC Water hopes your new year is off to a fantastic start. And CGC Water wants to give you the gift of clean drinking water. A Connecticut system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. Now that's clean water. Right now, CGC Water is offering $1,000 off a K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut softener. If you're still not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember, this is a limited time offer. $1,000 off a K5 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier softener. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day. We all know what the most important meal of the day is, and now it's the most awesome. Moe's Southwest Grill St. Augustine is now serving up breakfast burritos and bowls in their drive-thru. The fluffy eggs, shredded cheese, grilled steak and chicken, and salsa if you choose. They're all available in the AM, so you can swing by the Moe's drive-thru on your way to work. No more cold cereal and oatmeal at your desk, just convenient breakfasty goodness. Get ready to be the coolest kid at the office. Welcome to Moe's. No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Does it feel like finding clothes in your fit is impossible? Tired of feeling overwhelmed with options that just aren't right? Let the experts at Stitch Fix do the shopping for you. At Stitch Fix, we make sure each piece is hand-selected for your life. So whether you're staying home or on the go, Stitch Fix has the answer for what to wear. We make it easy to find what works for you. Signing up takes just a few minutes, and styles are delivered directly to your door. Get started today at StitchFix.com. Stitch Fix, your style delivered.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 2 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
Have you seen it? I'm talking about the all-new showroom at Arlington Toyota, where they're celebrating with savings all month long. What are you waiting for? Right now at Arlington, take your pick. A new 2021 Corolla LE or a new 2021 Camry LE. You choose. 0 down or buy for just $249 a month. This is a purchase, not a lease. Celebrate with savings and come see the new showroom at Arlington Toyota today. Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/February for full details.
If you love golf, you need to get this deal. 8 rounds of golf for less than $12 per round plus card fees with the Dream 18 golf card at great area golf courses like Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club, Fleming Island Golf Club, and 6 others. And this isn't just a golf card. Get a free shirt from Baker Sports, a free hat at Dome Hats, and a free smoothie from Smoothie King, plus 15% off any purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Go to ESPN690.com to purchase the Dream 18 card for $95. Hundreds of dollars in savings and the perfect gift.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. March to Get Screened is celebrating its 12th year supporting colon cancer awareness and life-saving screenings. Held on March 28th, March to Get Screened is a family affair including a 5K race, a 1-mile fun run, and fun activities for all. Safety measures will be in place as well as virtual participation options. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Borland Groover Foundation. Register today, donate, or for more information, head to marchtoGetScreened.com. That's marchtoGetScreened.com.
O'Reilly. This is Jesse's O'Reilly Auto Parts story.
As a nurse, not making it to work was not an option. But driving through the snow with my wiper blades struggling, I just didn't feel safe. So I pulled into O'Reilly Auto Parts, and before I knew it, an employee was offering to install the wiper blades on my car. I got to stay out of the snow for a moment, and I still made it to work on time.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time for some straight talk. Your tax return could look different this year, but you're still going to hear a lot of noise about how to spend it. So when the big carriers tell you to splurge on the latest nonsense, just tune it out. With Straight Talk, you can get a Samsung Galaxy A51 for just $199. Plus, get the $45 unlimited talk, text, and data plan with no contract on America's best networks for up to 50% less. Tune out the nonsense and tune in to Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Can they move forward with him at quarterback? Yeah, I think they can. They were 11-2 at once upon a time. He was a part of that. Is there other options out there? As we continue to go through this so-called quarterback carousel, I don't know that there are better options out there for Pittsburgh right now today. I don't see it, right? Your Matt Ryans and Deshaun Watsons, those are dreams. You're not getting Aaron Rodgers, are the Raiders going to part ways with their quarterbacks? You just don't know. Look at the field of guys. Jay, would you rather have Big Ben or Teddy Bridgewater? I mean, we could play the game back and forward, but there's not a lot of options that are out there for the Steelers at this moment.
That is Keyshawn J. Zubin, ESPN 690, 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. Are they right? I mean, is Ben Roethlisberger the best fit for the Steelers right now? Give it one last go?
Yeah, because what else are you going to do?
Well,
I mean, like, seriously, like, would you think that you go after, like, Sam Darnold or Jimmy Garoppolo?
I don't think so. I don't think Darnold especially. Now, Garoppolo would change things a little bit. One, believe it or not, it's cheaper even this year in that sense. Now, dead money and all that depend on what you do with Ben Roethlisberger. Who knows? But from a youth standpoint, you reset it, right? So you don't have to worry about trying to fill that vacancy potentially if you like Jimmy Garoppolo or somebody like that. Darnold could fit the same thing. I just don't know if in 2021, I'm not having a lot of faith in Sam Darnold. I don't know what I'm going to get. I think I have a better idea if I know what I'm getting with Garoppolo. It's a matter of if I like it or not, like it enough.
Yeah.
I do think there are ways to go because what I would say about Roethlisberger and the Steelers is I just don't think he's winning at all. And that's all that matters right now because I think he's on the downside. I think he's more of a statue now than he ever was.
Sure.
I don't think he's winning it all. And so if that's going to be the case, go get me somebody that may reset it if that opportunity presents itself.
I hear you. Listen, I don't care how good you are of a football team. Every team's got their issues. Every team has their Achilles heel. But when you look at the Steelers, their problem last year was their lack of being able to run the football. It was the fact that their offensive line could get zero push. Now, in the past game, they were okay. But in terms of establishing a line of scrimmage in the run game, the Steelers could not do that. So you can have Jimmy Garoppolo. You can have Sam Darnold. But if you had the offensive line from last year, it doesn't matter. It's just not going to work because you have to be able to run the ball. I've said this many times on the show before. If you plan on throwing the ball 50 times a game, you're not going to win a lot of those battles, especially the Steelers. So they have to be able to run the ball. They have to establish a line of scrimmage. If they can do that, that will help out Ben Roethlisberger more than anything.
I think there's this window of time where you got Aaron Rodgers, you don't necessarily need to run the ball, right? You have Ben Roethlisberger maybe even 5 years ago. I don't know if you need to run the ball. You have Tom Brady years where they can't run the ball. You don't need to run the ball. You have those guys. Russell Wilson, maybe you don't need to run the ball. I actually thought they got better when they tried to run they got worse when they tried to run the ball this past year on offense for the Seattle.
But keep in mind, with Aaron Rodgers, you had Aaron Jones, too, running the ball.
I know, but I'm saying at times in his career, he's been good enough.
I got you.
I don't think anybody would sign up to not have the running game.
Yeah.
My point is, he's now at the point of his career where he does need it. He can't do it himself. He's lost too much. Phillip Rivers, you weren't going to ask him to throw it 50-something times. That's why it fit in Indianapolis. So that does make sense. Hey, Allen Robinson is interesting to me. I love him. We made a pitch to him. There's more pitches being made about free agency. I would love the idea of him coming back. You also know from last week's conversations, if you listen to the show here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, I don't think it's going to be the play. I don't think he's coming back to Jacksonville. I don't see them spending those kind of dollars at the wide receiver position. Mm-hmm. That's what I believe. Mm-hmm. But I'm intrigued by this love affair with the fans and Allen Robinson. Mm-hmm. Are you seeing it the same way I am? Do you get the sense that if you polled 10 people on Jags Twitter or whatever it is, they'd be like, give me Allen Robinson. I want him above everybody else. It just feels that way. And why is that?
To me, and I had this comparison a little bit, but Allen Robinson is the one that got away. It's the one, if you've ever been in a relationship and then the one that got away, Allen Robinson is that dude. Because if you look at what Allen Robinson's been able to do for the Jaguars, we talk about a guy right now who is number 4 all-time in touchdown receptions, which is crazy to believe. By the way, number 2, number 2 all-time is touchdown receptions?
For the Jags?
Surprised me.
Touchdown receptions for the Jags.
With 33, by the way.
Is it? Are you going to tell me it's like Mercedes Lewis?
Nailed it, Mercedes Lewis. So, yeah, it's crazy. But when you have a guy who's number 4 all-time... Right? When you have a guy who's number 4 all-time in touchdown receptions, when you have a guy who's number 5 all-time in reception yards, that sticks out to you, right? Because while DJ Chark has shown some promise and you're pretty confident going forward that DJ Chark could be the next great receiver of the Jacksonville Jaguars, what else you got right now? You got Laviska Shenault. You got Colin Johnson. We'll see. But Allen Robinson showed you what he could do. You already know what Allen Robinson's bringing to the table. And the way that it ended, and listen, it wasn't bitterness from Allen Robinson's side. It really wasn't bitterness, I feel like, from the Jaguars' side. Allen Robinson had an injury. The Jaguars didn't want to pay him the money after that injury. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Now, in retrospect, because we've been talking about the whole day, Yannick Ngakoue, should the Jaguars have paid the money and benefited from Allen Robinson? In retrospect, probably. Okay? But you have a chance to make it right. Now, a lot of things have to happen, right? Chicago, don't use that franchise tag. They might use the franchise tag. Then you might have to trade for him.
Yeah,
we'll
they
see
could
what
sign
happens.
and trade, yeah.
But I think Jaguars fans want to see Allen Robinson because you know what you're getting with him. It feels like the job was left unfinished, and he's one of your own.
Yeah, and by the way, he's a cool guy. I mean, he's easy guy to root for, all that stuff. I mean, him and the fans actually got at it after it a little bit early in that tenure with the Jags, some social media stuff, and that was a thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of in my mind. I'm like, hey, it's pretty cool. Like, there's like this loyalty to Allen Robinson around here from the fans. And I think that's great. I think he feels it. I don't know how you can't feel that. I think he's paying attention to a lot of this stuff, which I kind of like the transparency of A-Rob to not sit there in like a bunker in Chicago and just wait for the phone to ring on March whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's paying attention to it. It's funny. The Jags fans are like, he's got Jags pictures up on his Instagram.
Sure.
Now he doesn't have Chicago pictures up there.
Well, listen,
read into everything. But again, I honestly don't believe, if I'm a betting man, I'm saying he doesn't end up in Jacksonville. You know, we're all in favor of it. I made a 12-minute pitch to him on Super Bowl week. But I really do think it's cool that the fans would like to see Allen Robinson back for the most part. And I just find that interesting because I don't know if I remember. I haven't seen that before in Jacksonville. Now, this is different. Like you said, you draft him. He plays for you. He has good years for you. A 1,400-yard, 14-touchdown season. And then he comes back on the market some 4 years later with an opportunity to get him when you have money. You're getting a franchise quarterback, all this stuff. So it's a very unique situation to begin with. But it's kind of cool that it's happening. And I think it's fun. It's a fun thing to watch right now. We'll see what happens as free agency now just a few weeks away for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to take a break here on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. More football at 5 talk when we continue. And also, I'm surprised you haven't tried to get this in the show yet.
What, Zion Williamson?
Nope.
I already did.
Not that.
Oh, trust me. We can get in again. What are you talking? What, wrestling?
Yeah.
AEW?
Yeah.
Oh, we talked about it yesterday.
Isn't there big news out today?
Oh, yeah, the big show's coming to town. Yeah.
That's a good tease.
Big show.
That's really a good tease when you give it away what I'm teasing.
Do you think 3/4 of our audience even knows what the big show is?
Okay, so that means we don't have to talk about it?
I'm down to talk about it. I mean, we talked about golf today.
I think we did just talk about it. I do think 3/4 of our audience knows who Tiger Woods is.
Sure, that's a good point.
By the way, if you're just pulling in your driveway or if you're listening at home, I'll be on CBS 47 and Fox 30 talking more about Tiger Woods in just a couple of minutes. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Clear skies, temperatures will cool off tonight down into the 40s, but plenty of sun and a mild Thursday with afternoon highs in the mid to upper 70s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's Best Vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pets' changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Have you seen it? The all-new showroom at Arlington Toyota is open, and they're ready to celebrate with big savings, even on pre-owned. Celebrate savings and hearing the words, "You're approved." That's right. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. Plus, if you want selection, Arlington's got it. With over 400 pre-owned on the lot, what are you waiting for? Celebrate with savings and come see the brand new facility at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
In Florida, it's not if the storms are coming, it's when the storms are coming. And that's why you need the Chief. Jacksonville's chief meteorologist, Mike Burrish, with a proven track record of keeping local families safe. Rain, heat, hurricanes, flooding, tornadoes. We get it all. Just more reasons why you need the Chief. Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, backed by the First Alert Weather Team. Only on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station. I'm Marshall. I'm a volunteer with the Florida Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program. Now more than ever during the pandemic, Florida long-term care residents deserve the best care and quality of life. I invite you to join me and hundreds of others in advocating on behalf of people who can't speak for themselves. Visit ombudsman.myflorida.com to join us today.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
How's it going? Oh, let me tell you how it's going. So far this year, I've broken my pinky toe, had a flat tire, and currently I'm trying to pass a kidney stone the size of Rhode Island.
Well, karma strikes again.
What?
Nothing. Oh, look, it's the first Crooks R Us survey of 2021. They're asking crooks like us to list the top reasons we avoid safe touch houses.
Well, there's the crash and smash technology, the video monitoring.
Yeah, but what's number one?
Gotta be the two-way communicator.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah. The two-way communicator leads to verified alarms, which lead to faster response times, which are all very bad for us crooks.
Which all just circles back to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Shred your goals this year with the new Metabolism Boost Banana Passion Fruit Smoothie from Smoothie King. At only 240 calories and 14 grams of protein per 20 ounces, this crave-controlling meal smoothie has non-GMO whole fruits, naturally derived caffeine, and absolutely no syrups. Or try strawberry pineapple or mango ginger. Start your healthier habit and order online at smoothieking.com. Now for pickup or delivery at any of the Jacksonville area locations. Smoothie King, rule the day.
If you love golf or know somebody who does, you need to get this deal. 8 rounds of golf for less than $12 per round, plus cart fees with a Dream 18 golf card at great area golf courses like St. John's Golf and Country Club, Amelia River Golf Club, and Eagle Landing Golf Club. And this isn't just a golf card. Get a free shirt from Baker Sports, a free hat at Dome Hats, and a free smoothie from Smoothie King, plus 15% off any purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Go to ESPN690.com to purchase the Dream 18 card for $95. Hundreds of dollars in savings and the perfect gift.
Hey everyone, this is Brett Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show today, you missed this. Are the Buffalo Bills for real?
I think they are. I mean, I've been a big Josh Allen supporter. I mean,
how about his start?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not surprised.
I guess Jalen Ramsey wasn't right about him being trash. Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Austin Lane.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous. Giannis Antetokounmpo, big sign, the deer that made Milwaukee famous.
Brent Martineau.
I can buy that.
Yeah, okay. That's all I'm throwing out there.
I can definitely buy that.
Hashtag and trademark. So if somebody try to steal it, I'm suing you.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
You want me to bring it back in, I guess, Coos? I'll tell you what, man. Brent Martineau working double duty, doing live hits in the break period, coming back on
What just happened?
the talk show now. What just happened? We're
What
live,
was the
man.
silence?
Were
Were you listening to a bite?
No, there was no bite. Was there a bite?
There was no bite.
There was no bite. We're letting you get back. We thought you were going to come back.
You're waiting
Where's
for me
on
to
you?
say welcome back?
Yeah, for sure.
You can do this.
You're
you got the whole
the
show
ca-
tomorrow and Friday. Get used to it.
You're the captain, man. Yeah, and I hope. And speaking of that, yes, you will be joined by Justin Kuzar and myself tomorrow and Friday, and it's really going to be the Zion Williamson radio show tomorrow, where we're going to talk about what he's achieved so far in his short, illustrious NBA career, why he's better than LaMelo Ball. So big things tomorrow on ESPN 690.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
So you're not excited about the big thing, the big show?
The big show? No, of course I'm excited about it. It's just I'm not sure what it's going to look like quite yet. Like, obviously, the big show got announced today that he is now all elite. And, you know, they have like the classic meme Big Show's all elite. And it's not the Big Show anymore because they're going by his real name, but I still call him the Big Show. But I'm not sure in what capacity quite yet he's going to be working. I mean, hopefully he gets in the ring, obviously, and he puts in a full workload. But I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like yet. And obviously, keep in mind tonight, too, it's a big thing happening because they now have Shaquille O'Neal wrestling Cody Rhodes, which is going to be – it's a tag team match, but it's going to be great.
All right. Tyson Fury, by the way, fighting twice in 2021. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, he wants to.
Oh, hopefully, right?
Yeah. Hey, he wants to.
That's like a lot for a boxer.
Yeah, well, yes
days?
or no. These days it is, yeah. And once again, like he says he wants to do it, but you know how the sport of boxing works. It's just you can say one thing, but do the fights actually happen? That's another thing.
All right. I'm not talking Zion Williamson. I've got something different for you. So I was doing this the other day, okay?
Sure.
Like you feel like, how many colleges did you look at when you came out? Like, had you ever heard from Murray State before they came a-knocking?
Oh, yeah, because there was a girl from my hometown that actually played basketball there.
Okay, so that's.
I mean, I knew of it, but I honestly thought it was in New York. Like when Murray State called, I told you the story. When Murray State called me the first time, I go, "Oh yeah, Murray State, New York." No, we're in Kentucky, sir.
You have never heard of Ashland probably until I told you met me.
I mean, I still don't think it's a real place, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like a pyramid scheme more than anything.
Yes.
Doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I'm doing this for some reason the other day. I don't know. I think I was looking up March Madness or I know what I was doing. Like UNF has had a lot of games canceled. And so they've only played 10 games in conference.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the maximum amount of games anybody's played in the ASUN is 14. JU's got 14 in, Kennesaw State, Stetson, North Alabama, and then Bellarmine and Liberty lead the league at 10-2. Lipscomb's 9-5, so there's another 14. Florida Gulf Coast actually has only played 8 games in conference. They're 4-4. And so I started to look around, and I was like, maybe there's something here. Like maybe there's a story that's like the least amount of games, so it's not even close. There's some teams that some have played 8, some have played like 2. It's crazy, really, how much people have lost. But as I'm going, I haven't done this in probably forever, so I'm going through conferences.
Are we gonna play the mascot game?
Nah, because that would be very hard. But
the mascot game?
I want Yeah, there's no way you can get some of these mascots, man.
Hit him. I mean, just give me an example.
You just can't. All right, I'll give you an example. UMass Lowell.
The Bulldogs.
No, Riverhawks.
Okay.
Okay, game over.
Yeah.
So that's way too hard.
Okay.
And I've always been like, there was this trivia question when I was a kid, and it doesn't exist anymore because so many teams are now D1.
Sure.
But it was like with the basketball schools, because more people play basketball in D1 than they do football.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it was, of all the schools, there were like 6 or 7 of them was the answer at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That does not include a color in the nickname or end in S. Okay? So like Syracuse Orangemen doesn't end in S, but it's orange. So you couldn't, at the time, couldn't do it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's an example of it.
Sure.
Like I think Tulane, what are they? Like, are they still the Green Wave?
Green Wave.
So green couldn't work.
Yeah, Blue
right?
Devils, S and.
So like one of them. Now even this, I'm trying to even think of an answer. Like what was one of the answers?
Wait, so it can't be plural. It can't end in an S, and it can't be color, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So like I got one
So
for you.
I have one.
The UMass Minutemen.
Okay.
That was one.
St. John's Red Storm.
Okay, but they weren't the Red Storm.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Storm.
And that's
man.
red.
This is hard. Yeah, I'm in. Ugh. Okay.
They were the Johnnies.
I see what we're doing.
Right?
Okay.
Or something, weren't they? St. John's.
I can't
what were
believe I
they?
said Red Storm. I have no idea, sir.
I grew up with the Big East. What were they? Now I forget. They
Okay.
weren't the Red Storm.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay, I got you.
So anyway, I digress on that. I used
Well,
to
how many schools are there?
Well, there were I'm telling you, there were 7 answers to this at the time. But
Okay.
now nicknames have changed. There are more schools added. People have gone from D2 to D1. There's been this fluctuation. So
Okay.
that trivia question probably doesn't exist anymore. Although I could probably look it up right now if I wanted to.
Sure.
But I was always like interested because of that trivia question. I thought it was this great question, and it was fun to try to answer. And so I was always interested in the mascots and these like obscure schools that maybe I hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
Well, 25 years, 30 years later, here I am, and I'm looking at some of these conferences.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have never heard of some of these schools.
Okay.
Like, I do sports for a living.
Yeah, yeah.
I like March Madness.
Yes.
I know what brackets are.
Yes.
And I have never heard of
listen,
some of these schools.
Hit me with the school one by one. I'll tell you the mascot.
So I'm going to go to some that are, again, you've told, you don't have to do the mascot
I
thing.
want to do the
I want
See,
you.
no,
I
you're
want
not-
you to know. I want to first see if you know what you've ever heard of these schools.
Yeah, but the whole point, I'm trying to make it a game where, depending where they are geographically, we come up with a mascot name.
I
And if
like
it's better
that.
than the
Do you
original
even know
mascot
what Central
name.
Michigan is?
Chippewas.
Very good.
Got any more brain busters?
I'm just seeing. I just gotta. That's like Jeopardy $100 question.
Okay, well, hit me with the $200 then.
Norfolk State.
Mountaineers.
Spartans.
Dang, Mountaineers
try.
way better. but I've heard of Norfolk State. Okay.
Yeah. Indiana State.
Sycamores.
Thank you.
Larry Bird. Only reason I know about them is because it was my first start in my college career was in Indiana State. So don't get too ahead of yourself.
Very
Larry
good.
Bird.
You're changing this topic on me, but do you know what? Let's see. Wyoming is.
That'd be the Cowboys.
Very good. Very good. New Mexico.
New Mexico would be the Wolf. No, it ain't the Wolfpack either. No, what is it, man? It's not. Is it the Wolfpack?
No, that's Nevada.
Whatever, man.
And the Aztecs are San Diego State.
Okay.
The same conference, which is pretty good right here for you.
What is it?
The Lobos.
I should have had that one. Sorry. Wolfpack, Lobos, same thing, just different.
Okay, so now play
slang.
my game a little bit.
Okay.
Have you heard of Wagner?
Yes.
The Wagner Seahawks.
I have.
Have you heard of the Bryant Bulldogs?
Haven't heard of Bryant per se.
What's interesting here is Bryant is in Rhode Island.
Okay.
And they were always like a D. When I was growing up, I think they might even have been a D3 school. They moved up to D2. This is where the Patriots actually had training camp.
Yeah.
And now they moved up to D1, and they're actually like a player. Like they're
Rhode
pretty good.
Island's got 2 college basketball teams?
3, Providence College,
Yeah.
Bryant, and University of Rhode Island.
Did y'all throw a parade when that happened?
We
That's
throw a
big
parade
news.
when they go to the Final Four.
I got you. Ooh, flex.
Have you heard of... I'm going to go in your conference. I don't think...
What?
UT Martin.
Skyhawks.
Yes, very good. All right, so what you got to do is you got to go out west. This
Okay.
is where I'm like,
Wait, so
what?
I mean, be honest. Have you heard of UT Martin before?
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Okay. Well,
I didn't know. I wouldn't have got their nickname, though.
Sure.
Okay, so here's Lamar.
I
Not
have
Odom.
I have heard of Lamar. I want to say Eagles.
Cardinals.
I was close. Bird. Tell me I wasn't close.
That was really
Yeah.
close.
No, I've heard of Lamar.
How about New Orleans? Since you're such a big Zion fan.
Absolutely, yeah. I haven't necessarily heard of New Orleans.
Privateers. Okay, so now I ask you, have you ever heard of Incarnate Word?
I have, but I can't remember where. Weren't they like in football? It's not a football thing, is it?
Well,
I mean, football. Yeah, but I've heard.
They do play football.
But I don't know where I've heard it, but I have heard it someplace.
Now, I wonder if you've heard it. This is the only reason I've heard of Incarnate Word.
Okay.
Frank Selfo, who was like an offensive, the QB coach in Jacksonville for a bit.
Okay.
His son played at Incarnate Word.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason. Like, we did an interview with Selfo and his kid.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason I've heard of Incarnate Word. Like, they were not D1 up until like a few years ago.
No, I definitely heard it. It might have been, I heard like in the 10 Commandments. Is that one of the 10 Commandments? Like, does that involve Incarnate Word? Like, thou shall Incarnate Word? That might be what it is.
I don't know.
That's what it is.
But if anything was just sacrilegious, that's Austin Lane.
I went to Sunday school. What? I think, isn't Incarnate Word like a religious school?
I would assume. Yes.
So sorry for the positive feedback. What are you talking about?
Like universities, okay? Not out of the Bible here.
Okay. Well, it goes hand in hand if they're a religious school. Don't try to put me in a bad light.
Have you heard of Kansas City as a college?
Kansas City. Yes, they're the Kangaroos.
Holy cow, end the game. You got the ruse. They're the ruse, really. But
No. Are you going to feel good about that?
No.
Are you going to feel good about that?
No. Hey.
Are you going to feel good about that?
Can we say it again?
Are you going to feel good about that?
I feel fantastic about it, sir. Yeah, hey, Brent. Yeah, hey.
That was the best moment you've ever had on the show. The fact that you got I've never heard of Kansas City.
Yeah, man. You ever heard
I'm
of those
assuming
guys?
it's University of Missouri, Kansas City.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Hey, Brent, you stick in this business long enough, like I have, and you're gonna start knowing your college teams.
They're 7-5.
Can I? Do you know why? Do you know why I know that though? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie here. The reason why I know about them, the Ruse, is because my academic advisor, Matt Kelly, who helped me a lot in college, before he got to Murray State, was actually at that university.
Really?
So, and the only reason why I remember that is because I remember seeing a poster hanging up with the basketball team, and they had the Ruse there. That's why I knew it was the Kangaroos.
How about that?
But I still got it right. Coos, give me the point.
You did get it right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where's the one that I can't even find him? I love South Dakota State, and the only reason I know that was the Jackrabbits.
But
that's because they were recently very good. I think they were like an undefeated or one-loss team going into the tournament.
Well, and you remember we talked about it with Jason Fitz. They do hobo days. Well, they used to. It might be, honestly, it's 2021. I'm not sure you can do hobo days anymore.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'll save. I won't chuckle at that.
Good.
That makes it better.
Good.
I can't find it. Southern Utah is one. That actually I tweeted out the other day.
Southern Utah.
I had seriously not heard that Southern Utah is a Division I school.
Southern Utah? No, I've never heard of
I'll give you
Southern.
one. Tarleton.
Tarleton?
Tarleton. Tarleton.
No.
Did you know Dixie State is a Division I school? They play in the WAC. Dixie State.
Is that in Tennessee? Where's Dixie State?
I can't imagine they play in Tennessee. They're in the WAC. That's the Western Athletic Conference.
But it's Dixie. I'm trying to think what. Hang on.
Utah Valley is a Division I school. Like, I've never heard of these schools as Division I school. I've never heard of these schools. And they are Division I basketball schools.
Dixie State is in Utah.
Dixie State's in Utah. Now, that makes a little bit more sense.
The Red Storm, by the way. Okay. Original.
Why can't I find I still can't find Southern Utah. Did I make that up? Maybe I did make it up. But that was one of the teams.
You know what? What an awkward I always see this with university around. I have no idea where it is. Elon.
I think it's in North Carolina.
Okay. I mean, is that a wager?
Yeah. I'll bet you it's soda.
Do you know their mascot? You were right, by the way, North Carolina. Brent Martineau.
Mountaineers. I don't know that.
I don't know if they even have. It doesn't say.
I will tell you this.
It's not important.
One last thing, and then we'll go because we're probably way late on.
Fun. I don't care. Forget Kuz's times.
I think we know a lot of these for two reasons. One, most people will know any of these schools. Like some of the schools that even you think like you'd never know Gonzaga probably existed if it wasn't for basketball.
Yeah.
Going all the way back and then recent memory. Like nobody would ever heard of that, especially around here.
Without a doubt.
I think a lot of schools are like that, football and basketball, but the tournament has a lot because you see them. Like in football, we talk SEC, ACC, we talk even UCF. I mean, they're not a small school. Everybody's heard of that, but that's kind of the small in football. You don't talk about those schools. You know North Dakota State because they've had a lot of success in it, right? Yep. You know Mount Union because they've had so much success, they've gotten attention. But in the NCAA tournament, these 16 seeds, 15 seeds, 14 seeds, you're like, who is that, right? Yeah. And so I think that's how we know the schools. One other way we know them, and this isn't for the masses, this is more for us. Like, I've heard of schools like Elon and know where that is because of covering signing day.
Yeah,
When kids sign, like, without fail, there's 10 schools I've never heard of that they signed to. Yeah. I'm like, where is that? I got to Google that. Yeah. Put that on the list. Ty and Kaylee. But it's just like there are so many schools out there that you just have no idea where they are, where they even existed.
Do you know the only other way I know kind of the obscure schools a little bit? And I'm not sure this might be a little after your time, but was JanSport big when you were growing up?
Yeah.
You know JanSport? Okay. Remember JanSport had all those hats? Like you'd go like to Lids or something like that?
Okay, yes.
And they were always like the obscure hats. Like I remember like Wichita State, the Shockers, you had the banana slugs of I think Santa Clara, right? Was it Santa Clara or Long Beach? One of those.
Wichita State, of course, everybody knew
the
that
Shockers,
one. But you're right, some of those schools.
But they were like the obscure, crazy ones who had that.
That's kind of like minor league baseball.
Yeah.
Like you've heard of minor league baseball because of the lids.
True.
Because of the hats, right?
True.
People collect them. I had no idea the Columbia Fireflies existed until like Tim Tebow played there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you just have no idea. It's just interesting how we learn some of these. And it's also interesting because so much has changed from Division II to Division I. Yeah. There's been so much fluctuation. I mean, right here in town, UNF 15 years ago wasn't a D1 school.
Yeah.
And so they're new to the party in that respect. Like we have schools that are in our conference when I played baseball, like Oakland, that's now a Division I school all across. So it's pretty wild to how we absorb and consume and know like what these schools are. And it's also to me pretty wild that I can be in this business and I've never heard of Southern Utah. Like I have no idea. If you told me that UNF or JU was playing Southern Utah, I'd be like, who?
Yeah.
They're the Thunderbirds, by the way. Southern
Oh, no
Utah.
way. Hey, keep stealing from Iola, Scandinavia. We're the real Thunderbirds.
Out of the Big Sky conference.
Is there any other here's a real question. Townies. Is there any other school
I haven't heard
Townies?
that. No,
you don't talk about original OGs.
Yeah, that's just us. I think the Big Sky Conference might have some of the cool mascots because you got Northern Arizona Lumberjacks.
I like that.
That's pretty good. You go west and you got Idaho Vandals. And by the way, Idaho,
I
with
like
all
the
due
Vandals,
respect,
man.
are they good at any sport?
Oh,
like
wow,
they are 0-19 this year in basketball. Are they good at it? They're not good at anything except for making potatoes.
And I get in trouble for incarnate word, and then you bring up the potatoes for Idaho.
By the way, if you can do this, Grand Canyon, do you know their mascot?
Grand Canyon University?
Yep.
Raiders.
Antelopes.
It's purple, too, isn't it?
UT Rio Grande Valley.
Say that again. That's not even a word, sir.
UT Rio Grande Valley.
Rio.
It could be Rio Rio.
Hey, talk about the Rio Grande?
Yes, but I say Rio Grande because that's Ohio.
Okay, I got you. I don't know what it is.
Rio Grande Valley for this instance. You're right because there is a Rio Grande University in Ohio.
I think that's false.
No, that's true.
I'll look that up later. I'll look that up later.
Oh, by the way, their mascot is the Vaqueros.
What is that, sir?
I have no idea, but look up a Vaquero. We'll tell everybody when we come back.
Yeah.
Kuz, are you going to make us go to commercial break or not?
No, this is...
You have 4 more minutes.
Oh, we get to go all the way to 40 because we took a break earlier. That's right, for TV. Hey, great, we can keep up this unbelievable conversation.
Brent, you said vaqueros, like varicose veins?
Like VAQUEROS.
Say it one more time, please.
VAQUEROS.
Vaqueros.
Let me know if you've ever heard of this.
It's a...
What is it?
Is a horse-mounted livestock herder of a tradition that originated from the Iberian Peninsula.
Well, there you go. UT Rio Grande Valley. In first place, by the way, in the WAC. You know why? They've only played 2 games. They're 2-0. I mean,
get them in the tournament. Let's go.
Here's another one.
Get them in the
dance. Did you know
dance.
that the California Baptist Lancers play Division I basketball in the WAC? No, I did not.
No, had no idea.
I mean, you didn't know UT Rio Grande Valley, right? You wouldn't know. This is the WAC. UT Rio Grande Valley, California Baptist, never heard of them.
No.
Dixie State had never heard of that as a D1 school.
No.
I think I've heard of it as like a community college, like in like Alabama or Tennessee or something.
Could be.
Tarleton Texans. Had never heard of that.
No.
And also in that conference for the WAC is Grand Canyon, Utah Valley. I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Seattle University. I knew that existed. New Mexico State, obviously, and Chicago State.
Yeah.
And I've heard of them. So there are 4 teams in one conference that I, if I'm being perfectly honest, had never heard of.
Can I be perfectly honest with you real quick? Stetson. Where's that?
It's the land.
Where's the land? Where's the land, sir?
Right down, like an hour away.
Okay.
Down
yeah,
here, like in between Daytona and Orlando. Like
Okay.
on the way to Orlando.
Obviously not
You know
the
when
biggest.
you get on I-4?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
right
about. Obviously not the biggest university, though, right? Or
No, not big, but not small either, I don't
Okay.
think. It's supposed to be, I've never been actually on campus, but I hear great things about it. Really nice campus.
Cool. Okay.
You know what they're called?
Is it the Cowboys?
No, but
The
close.
Hats?
Hatters.
It's the Hatters. Yeah, I know the hat. I see the hat, the cowboy hat.
Stetson Hatters.
Yeah. Which,
but shouldn't that
Is
belong
there-
in Texas?
No, but is there an endorsement? Because Stetson makes a hat, right? That's what it's
that's
known
my
for.
point.
Yeah.
But why is
There's
Stetson
gotta be an
Hatters
endorsement deal.
Why are the Stetson Hatters in Florida and not in Texas?
You guys got to have George Strait for your mascot. Let's be honest.
Yes.
If you don't have George Strait for your Stetson mascot, you guys are doing it wrong.
I'll look up exactly why they are the Hatters. I'm sure there's a reason. But the Stetson Hatters should really be in Texas.
It's a good point. I know, because you don't think
we can claim a lot of things in Florida, but I don't know if we claim the Stetson hat, do we?
Well,
Maybe that's where it was born.
No way, sir. No way. I mean, listen, Jacksonville and company can be country, but like I feel like Texans got the Stetson hat on lockdown.
Like, we would not know that Oral Roberts University existed if it wasn't for the NCAA tournament. Like, they've been good at times.
Yeah. No, they definitely have. But once again, I hear Oral Roberts and I think of like I think of like a dentist office. Seriously. Seriously. Oral Roberts.
Like,
tell me you don't think of a dentist
I wonder
place.
if they're good at dentistry.
You think that's like the prime dentist? I gotta look that up. Yeah.
This
riveting
This
stuff
is
right
great
now.
stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but I'm enjoying
Hey,
it.
this is your last day. Who cares, man? I'm having blast too, so it is what it is.
It's my last day, like ever.
Whoa.
Hey,
Don't say that.
Look at, do you know what the Western Illinois is out of the Summit League?
Western Illinois. I feel like I should know this one.
If you got the ruse, maybe you should know this one.
Their colors are purple, right? Purple and yellow?
They are, actually.
I've seen them play.
They are purple and yellow. Oh my gosh, how did you get that?
Because I have a photographic memory.
Don't they get like crushed in football? They'll play like that pay me game,
I
that
don't know.
guarantee game. I think they do.
What are the Western Illinois?
They're the Leathernecks.
I never would have got that. That's a turtle, right?
Yeah, but that's not what they are. I think a leatherneck is a turtle.
Yeah.
But that's not
Is
what
it-
their mascot is.
I'm not going to say what I thought it was.
Yeah, please don't.
I'll just say
no,
it. Yeah.
you have to do the
I'm gonna
shows
say it.
tomorrow, so don't get suspended.
I can say. Who's got to say the?
No, don't.
You ever
Just
see Pulp
ask
Fiction?
later.
You ever see Pulp Fiction?
I don't know where you're going with
You ever
this.
see
so
Pulp Fiction?
I'm going to say proceed on the side of caution.
You ever see Pulp Fiction?
No.
Okay, Brent, you seen Pulp Fiction? Yeah, the guy in the cage who was covered in leather and zippers. Whatever, man. Forget it.
Just
then.
don't do it. By the way,
didn't. Well,
they
I
look
kind of.
like they've got a bulldog essentially as their mascot.
Leatherneck and a bulldog. Huh. All right.
Like, are they mean like the collar?
No. Was it that the Western Illinois Collars? Is that what
I'm
we're
just
doing?
saying,
No,
like,
I
how
hear
do you
you.
get the Western Illinois Leathernecks have a bulldog as their mascot?
I don't know, man.
Should have a mean-looking turtle.
Whatever happened to that one? I know, like just like the Maryland Terp. What happened to that one school who was going to rename there's like a new school in Florida, in Jacksonville, that we're talking about. Remember? It was like the moccasins we were going with or something.
Oh, yeah.
What happened with that one?
High school. Takoi Creek.
Did they ever name their?
I think were the Toros. I think Toros won the day.
Okay.
You okay with that? It wasn't option. It wasn't.
It doesn't really matter to me, does it?
But they got Toros.
By the way, I thought a leatherneck is like a military slang term for a member of the United States Marine Corps. And that's what popped up. I'm sure there's other things, but
Isn't there something leatherneck related to a turtle?
Yes, I think so. But once again, we're talking a dog.
We got a lot of ignorance
Dude,
here on the show.
I'll be
right
honest,
now.
man. This is the funnest segment we ever did. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care what most Southwest thinks. This is fun.
Yeah, Weber's 1400 SAT guy, so I go to him.
Oh, by
he
the way,
says a leatherneck is a Marine bulldog. There is official mascot.
Leatherback is actually the sea turtle.
Leatherback is the turtle. Leatherneck, sorry, everybody in the military. Leatherneck is a Marine. Bulldog is their official mascot.
Oh, because the Marine. Hello. Brent, hey,
Sorry.
we're in Jacksonville, though, man. It's more of a Navy scene.
We got a 3-minute punishment.
Yeah.
To the sin bin we go. Here's a break on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Scary moments yesterday for one of the biggest names in sports.
The accident happened around 7:15 this morning south of Los Angeles near Rancho Palos Verdes. We're told pro golfer Tiger Woods was driving this SUV and was the only person in the vehicle when it somehow lost control, rolled, and ended up on its side. He was taken by ambulance to a hospital where his agent tells Golf Digest that Woods is now in surgery for multiple leg injuries.
That's Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Woods suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries, and he underwent hours of surgery. He's expected to recover. And in baseball news, Taijuan Walker is switching his number on his new team because it already belongs to someone. The mascot. New York Mets mascot Mr. Met wears 00, so Walker will rock 99. The Sports Center Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family-owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the Golf Club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
Love is not supposed to hurt. Domestic violence is about power and control. It's a choice made by the abuser. COVID-19 may have separated us, but we're here to help. If you know of someone who needs to talk, please call the Florida Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-500-1119. Trained advocates are available to provide support. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Department of Children and Families, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. March to Get Screened is celebrating its 12th year supporting colon cancer awareness and life-saving screenings. Held on March 28th, March to Get Screened is a family affair including a 5K race, a 1-mile fun run, and fun activities for all. Safety measures will be in place as well as virtual participation options. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Borland Groover Foundation. Register today, donate, or for more information, head to marchtogetscreened.com. That's marchtogetscreened.com. The March to Get Screened 5K, sponsored by the Borland Groover Foundation, is coming up March 28th. It's Rich Jones. Join me to raise funds for colon cancer awareness, life-saving screenings, and more. Check it all out at marchtogetscreened.com.
The Players Championship is honored to support the efforts of Flagler Health Plus and the St. Johns County School District in leading the BRAVE program, which encourages youth to be resilient and voice emotions. It's 13 days until the Players.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. You can even rent 2021 models. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
By the way, I'm just thinking right now, does anybody wear their shirts like this anymore? So I just did TV. Actually, Kaylee said yesterday, she's like, why'd you have a tie on? Doing radio.
Oh, she was a little embarrassed by it, or just wondering your fashion sense?
She must have been bored and looked at it or something during that part of the show.
Yeah, it looked good. I said the pink tie
so then I just threw a shirt to go on TV
I'm
and a
not gonna
jacket
lie.
over. And so, but this we used to wear it like this a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, no. But I'm not going to lie. You look like an undercover cop at a high school right now. You really do. You're like,
Yeah.
hey, kids, where's the party tonight? You guys drinking?
Well,
Where the beer's at?
I was gonna say I saw one of
Do
the
they
things.
have undercover cops that ask those questions at high school?
I think
You ever
so.
see 22
right?
Jump Street?
22 Jump.
No,
No,
that's a
remember?
documentary.
He hasn't seen them
21
yet.
or 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, both.
It's a documentary.
That
I would
happened.
also,
Documentaries.
I would
That
also
happened.
say that because of the other station, I was looking up some things. One of the trending topics was Rolling Stone said cargo pants are back, so you could rock that with the cargo pants. And
Wait,
apparently
Rolling Stone said cargo pants are back?
That's apparently.
That's why they're to music and not fashion. Who knows?
Kuz, do you wear your shirt like this ever?
No,
I haven't
no,
in a really
no one.
long time.
Like,
No one.
I don't either. I'm just
I mean,
asking.
I feel like dads that listen to Pitbull wouldn't wear a shirt underneath that and just kind of have like open chested.
Open chest.
You know what I'm saying? Like the open chested, button
Give me
up.
another month of push-ups and then I'll do
Let's
it.
do it, man. Open chested button up. Let's do it. Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and get. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Kuz. You can take part in this too. I say Jags training camp day one. We show up open chested. You down?
Hey, Herbs.
Let's give him something to
What's
talk about. Hey, what's up, Joe Cole? You can't yell at me anymore.
Yeah,
Open chested. Get something.
What was I supposed to call him? Coley?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
call him. Yeah, Kuz is like, did you ever call him Cully? I'm like, I can't say that I did, Justin. And
Yeah.
I'm like, call him Cully and see what happens.
Coaches do get nicknames, though, right?
Not Joe Cohen, sir.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Mr. Cohen.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was.
It's Coach.
Yeah, it was Coach. Yeah, I think.
Do you ever say Joe? Do you ever first name with
No,
any of your
well,
coaches?
I never did. Pot Roast did. You know,
did?
because Pot Roast obviously, he's a little
Did
bit of a
whatever he
person.
wanted.
By the way, congratulations, Terrence Knighton.
That's awesome. We're gonna ever get him on. I mean, he didn't answer our phone calls last year when we were trying to get him
You
on.
want me to try to reach out a little bit and see if I can
I'd
work
like
some
to get
magic?
him on. Now he might be like, I don't want to say anything. I'm new organization.
He's proud. He's going to talk about it. We'll see what's up. I'll try to reach out to him.
That'd be good. By the way, just to answer our question, we don't want you to go home empty-handed, everybody, in case you didn't know this. But Stetson Hatters, why is it in Florida?
Oh, good call. I definitely
And
stopped
Stuart
looking
has
that
now
up.
sent it to me, but somebody was kind enough to do it on social media, so Stuart's not getting credit. It's Matt Barnes. Thank you. Appreciate it. So here's the deal. Just so we can educate you, or really just educate ourselves, maybe you all know this. The unlikely combination of a famous hat manufacturer and a university produced a novel nickname for Stetson. The athletic teams are called Hatters, reflecting the university's association with John B. Stetson, maker of the well-known Stetson hats. It all began in 1883 when Henry DeLand founded the DeLand Academy. 3 years later, after a disastrous freeze affecting the citrus industry left DeLand in financial distress, Stetson, who had a winter home in DeLand, became interested in the school. At DeLand's request, Stetson was made chairman of the Board of Trustees in 1889, and the university was renamed in his honor. Stetson University fielded the first football team in Florida in 1901. The name Hatter was used then and still is in use today,
How do you like
120
that?
years later.
How do you like that?
And now you know.
What's the
The
wildest
rest of the story.
What's the wildest nickname you've ever heard for a school?
I think we went over it in the last segment.
You think
I
so?
mean, what was the Vaqueros?
The Vaqueros were
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I'm saying like out there. I mean, even like when you went to high school, do you have any crazy things in your conference that were like, what do we?
Nah, I feel like most people are like birds or animals or of some sort. And now the color thing is, Red Storm or like what?
Are you ready for this one? That we had in college. One of our athletic trainers, she went to Cobden, Illinois. You know what Cobden, Illinois' mascot was at their high school? The Apple Knockers. The Apple Knockers, everybody. And you know what?
Cobden, Illinois.
The Cobden Apple Knockers.
Knockers.
Apple Knockers. And I even requested a shirt from her. I'm like, listen, I think you're making this up. But if you're not, I'm going to need a school shirt. And she gave me one.
She did.
And then I
have one.
Well, I ended up trading it. So we traded. Yeah, but like, because she's like, well, I want a Thunderbirds. And I'm like, all right, deal. So I gave her like an extra large T-Birds one, and I got an Apple Knocker shirt at home.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't fit me, but yeah, it's there.
By the way, the rest of the story, Paul Harvey.
Of course. I
That
know
was a little
where
Paul
we're
Harvey
going with.
reference right there.
I thought it was a dude from 60 Minutes, but I was, yeah.
I never knew Paul Harvey until I got down to, I'd never heard of Paul Harvey until my first job was in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And then this radio station, they'd always have like a Paul Harvey story on it. And I was like, this is really cool.
Yeah.
And I was way late to the party.
Sure, no, for sure.
Paul Harvey.
No, Paul, listen, I feel like Paul Harvey regardless of like what you're into in terms of audio entertainment, I feel like everybody likes Paul Harvey.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Great storyteller.
Yeah.
We like great storytellers.
Yeah, we do.
People do like stories.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I'm sure you like the story we told for the last 3 hours or not. But
what's up? We told a good story, Brent. A little bit of everything. Had some action, had some adventure, had some laughs, had some serious parts.
I tell you what, you had maybe your finest moment on the show. The poll of the Kansas City Roos.
You better believe it.
And I give you full credit. Kangaroos,
Thank you.
Roos.
Thank you. Yeah, Kuz wanted to take that away
Yeah, it
from
was
me.
like 75%.
I mean,
86.
It's impressive.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Check out full night of coverage on CBS 47 and Fox 30 coming up on the TV side. Back at it tomorrow with Austin Lane and Kuz. I won't be here the next couple of days. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Have a good break.
Yeah, good little break.
Wouldn't miss you.
Live, local, loud. Coming up next, right here on ESPN 690.
Cease and desist.
You gotta love lawyer talk, don't you? I got a letter from a competitor's lawyer accusing us of stealing all their best people. They demanded that we cease and desist. The ugly truth is that the other company was actively driving away their best people. Management didn't treat them right, so they voted with their feet. And most of those plumbers and techs initially hired on somewhere else other than Griffin Service.